Okay, I got my intro already lined up for this one.
All right, well, we are live, I believe.
Are we live right now?
I believe we are live right now.
The Weekly Poll. I am Comic Storian. That is TV Little House. That is Marvel Explained. That is Comics Reviews. Gwen Stacy is a Spider Person. It's amazing this week. Future's End is horrendous this week. And on top of that, we are live. And Dave's not wearing any pants.
Yep. Nope.
Stanley Ipkiss, everybody.
I need a new one every week. What do you want from me?
That's fair. Yeah. Listen, that's how it goes.
Right.
Yeah, hey.
It's here.
What up?
Hey.
I believe we're live.
Hey.
Wait, all of that? We weren't even live? I mean,
No,
I got
we're
the
live, man. We're live. I'm telling you,
Alright.
we're live right now.
I'm
So,
on video here.
But yeah, so.
what are we discussing today, guys?
Well, talking about the Punisher is one thing. Like, I wanted to talk about the Punisher. But people, I think, also wanted to see us talk about Old Man Wolverine, or Old Man Logan.
Robotic Supergirl.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Wait, wasn't she gonna be a Red Lantern?
It's in the future.
It's a robot.
So she's a Red Lantern robot?
No. She got rid of that ring and apparently immediately became a robot.
Yeah, well, they're turning everybody
Seems
into
legit.
robots.
It seems legit.
Yeah.
Looks legit.
All right. So
Rob, lead us.
I am leading the podcast. I'm talking.
We discussed the fact that we are all going to New York Comic Con.
People are like the video's frozen. I'm like, that shit ain't frozen. That's just fine. Like, it's just working for me.
We should all talk in accents like this today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Pool.
Welcome to the Weekly Poll. Look at my jowls move.
What is this? What has happened?
Oh god.
You look like I'm taking crazy pills!
We took a week off and we're all Deadpool.
God.
Yeah, YouTube hiccuped. It looks like, I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe it's part of the whole YouTube Twitch conversion. I think I misspelled hiccuped. I don't know, but hello
you
everyone.
did
Welcome
Twitch.
to officially starting the
Okay,
podcast.
are we doing it
and
again?
everything.
Do it again?
Yeah, no, I mean it's been streaming the whole time. Like, it's been fine the whole
I'm
time.
doing the intro again. Why you gotta interrupt me, yo?
It's never not been streaming.
Yo, G. Welcome to the Weekly Poll, where this week Future's End sucks. Spider Person is a Gwen Stacy. Miles Morales has joined the all-new X-Men. I don't even know what's going on in Teen Titans. Star-Lord had an issue last week. This is a really crazy-looking cover. Welcome to the Weekly Poll. I'm Comic Story, and that is Sal from TV Little House. That is Rob from Marvel Explained, and that is Dave from Comics Reviews. And I don't need to breathe. I'm Benny.
Benny does not breathe.
We're doing this weird voice.
I love doing
is
this
up?
weird voice. I love talking this way.
all day long. I'm gonna tweet this out.
Oh man! All right,
Oh my goodness.
so the death of Wolverine. All right, like obviously, I think it goes without saying, like it's a huge hit. Like people are
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
psyched about Wolverine
Oh.
finally dying, which is about
Oh my
time.
gosh.
Like he's
Which,
needed
like-
to be dead.
Which, like, he's done a million times, but now
I
apparently they're just
know.
gonna say he stays dead
I hope he
until
does.
the next X-Men movie.
I hope he does.
I mean, like, everybody keeps saying that, but I'm like, why? Like, who cares if Wolverine's dead or not? Like, number one, he'll be back, and number two, so, like, Wolverine's one of the few unkillable characters. That's kind of like what made him into an interesting character, which is also, by the way, why Death of Wolverine is so interesting, because, like, he's usually so unkillable, so now he is killable, and that's making him interesting. So, you know, that's kind of neat. Also, the art, like,
still not interesting. I will say, Death of Wolverine's a great book. I'm liking it so far, but it has not like put Wolverine into my where I'm like, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of Wolverine books. Oh yeah, they're gonna be cool.
oh no, I'm not buying more Wolverine books.
I'm like, oh look, he's the same Wolverine, but now he gets hurt, and oh no, he shouldn't be using his claws. So wink.
I
Shwink.
will tell you, like that's the
You
sound of his claws,
Philistine.
man. It's like strink. Like I saw
Swink.
that.
Oh, how does it go?
Shink.
It's snicked.
Yeah, snick. That's what it is. That's snick. Yeah.
Snick.
What is Snick?
Snick.
It sounds like Snick late at night Nickelodeon. Nick.
Yeah,
Nick,
dude,
Nick.
snick, man. I actually got on Google one day because I was looking up like Wolverine quotes, and I was like,
Sounds face.
I asked like best Wolverine quotes, and like it was this comic Vine thread, and it was like, guys, list your best Wolverine quotes. Like the number one quote was like snicked.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
not even him though. That's the sound of
I know it's the
claws.
sound of his claws.
Yeah,
but-
no, snicked.
For
A lot
the
of
record, I
times
want to read one of the
artists
comments
just-
here. Comment. STV Andermoon says, welcome back. I had to settle for the Tweakly poll last week. A bunch of meth heads in Walmart parking lot discussing Comic Con.
Welcome to the Tweakly poll.
Yes.
Basically me on caffeine. So welcome to the Tweakly poll.
So I
man.
traveled 5 years into the future.
All right. Let's go ahead
Future's
and
end!
let's say it now. Like STV Andermoon is like the superhero of the podcast.
Today.
for
That's
today.
it. And we
Like,
will
that
end
guy
on a
is
high
awesome.
note. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thank you for having us, everybody.
Oh man, this
Another
whole
great,
podcast.
another
there's no
success,
point in
another
going on.
triumph, everybody. Well done.
All right, so I will say this: like the death of Wolverine is decent. Like it's decent enough. I'm just looking forward to Wolverine being gone. But I will say that I'm with Benny on this one. Like I don't look at the death of Wolverine and I'm like, oh my god, what an amazing story. The last great story involving like Wolverine was Old Man Logan, and that was it. Like
Well,
I loved Old Man Logan.
That was
Good
cool.
way to segue.
It was cool.
I think the last best Wolverine story was Wolverine by Claremont.
Personally, I think the best Wolverine story was Wolverine Origins, and that was it. When we found out his past, and they removed
Origin. Yeah.
when they removed the mystique of what Wolverine is, and you're like, oh, he's just an experiment who forgot everything.
Yeah.
Great.
No, that, the Jenkins Kubert origin book is solid. That
Yeah,
is
it
a
is.
fantastic book, and I love the origin of it, which was just like, if you guys don't know, the X-Men movie was about to be made,
Yeah.
and Marvel was like, they're gonna do the origin in the movie. We should do the origin first because we care. Like the Marvel people, the X-Men people, the Wolverine people, they were all like, we don't want to tell the origin of Wolverine. We like having it kind of be this mystery. How old is Wolverine? We don't know. Like, how long has he been around? Who knows? Like, we don't know his parents or anything like that. We don't know what's going on with Wolverine. We like to kind of keep that as like one of the few mysteries in the Marvel Universe. But the movie's going to do it anyway because they don't give a shit about what we're doing.
Right.
So we might as well tell it as best we can. And I think they really succeeded, especially when they were trying to pull his shit together to do it. Like, oh crap, we need Paul Jenkins and one of the Kuberts, I don't care who, and just make it happen.
But that's why I say like a lot of people are like they raise an eyebrow and they're a little skeptical when I say like if you want to read anything good in Marvel, go read Paul Jenkins, and they're just kind of like I mean
That's
you know,
true.
he's all right, and I'm like no, Paul Jenkins is pretty damn good when it comes to writing.
I think the problem with Wolverine was that before we had the origin, you could make up any story. 1600,
You
and
could.
Wolverine was
And just set him in it.
and right, just put him in it, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Wolverine was alive in the 1600s.
Yeah.
He was a milkmaid. What?"
Yeah, they could have easily made it so that like they
just
throw
like
Captain
Weapon X
America back into like the Paleozoic era, and Wolverine's like a caveman.
Oh, what's going on in Wolverine? I'm the first
Yeah.
mutant.
This
I'm the first
guy, at least 6 people, he says that the best Wolverine story was Hulk 181, then it was downhill. That
The first appearance of Wolverine.
It's the same problem they had with Weapon X. Weapon X was a great mysterious thing that they could keep adding to without a problem.
Yes.
Once we found out the story of Weapon X, it was like now anytime you throw something in there, it doesn't make sense. We
Yeah.
had Weapon Plus, we had Roman or whatever his name is, like the whole Roman guy, Roman. Like, it's stupid. Like I made the video for Weapon X, and a bunch of people are like, "Well, you didn't explain Romuculus, whatever." I'm like, he came out in 2010. He's not in the story.
That's not part of the story. The story of Weapon X is just that cool picture of Wolverine with the VR helmet and all like the tubes on his body.
Yeah.
That's all anyone thinks of when they think of Weapon X, and it's like, yeah, that's awesome. It's a
Well,
badass
I
image.
mean, like
I
in
think
the Age
Jim
of
Lee did that.
Apocalypse, like Wolverine was called Weapon X.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was his name.
was
was Weapon
original,
X.
yeah.
So,
I think and Jean Grey's nickname or her code name was Phoenix, which is like finally she's had no code name for the last 30 years, and they're finally.
she had Red.
Well, she was also Marvel Girl.
Yeah, that's true.
I loved. I remember in the 90s. I think Bishop refers to Jean Grey at some point as Phoenix. He's just like, "Okay, Phoenix, let's do this," and that was the first time I'd ever seen anyone casually call her that as like a code name. And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That's really cool."
That was,
And then they never did it again. I'm like, what the
That was the event directly after the Phoenix Force was, the X-Men were able to defeat the Imperial Guard
yes.
during the trial of the Phoenix Force, or the trial of Jean Grey. That was such a good story.
right.
I miss Chris Claremont X-Men so much.
I mean,
But
like,
that's
he
the
could just
issue
do
with-
it. Like, I don't know why he's not still working on X-Men.
Because he doesn't need to. I mean, if I were him, I'd stay.
Because X-Men's going downhill. I've got Uncanny here somewhere.
It sucks, man. Like X-Men sucks. Man. Like all new X-Men. Like you've got
Yeah.
Look
Like
at this.
Cyclops, who's like,
Oh,
I'm the
sorry.
new Magneto
Look at
now.
this.
And
Cyclops versus zombie Cyclops.
yeah, it sucks, man.
Yep.
I mean, okay,
You know,
this is
that's
what I
the
knew.
issue. I'm not even kidding. But the whole thing, Wolverine, it's time to kill him because they've killed all of his mystique. Wolverine has now become a character that we're not wondering anything about, and he's just become a character who he's the one that killed Hank Pym. He's the one that was gonna kill Hope. He's just that guy that shows up all the time now with no real reason or story or nothing. He's just there.
Yeah.
Well, like they've already killed everyone else. They might as well kill Wolverine too. Spider-Man has literally died twice. Captain America's been dead 2 or 3 times.
No, Spider-Man
I-
Spider-Man had technically not been killed. He's been brought back to life, so he was never dead in the first.
No,
movie.
he was dead. There's 2 stories. I'm just actually in Spider-Man number 32. I don't remember actually what number it was, but it was during the Infinity Gauntlet story arc. There was actually like a kind of tie-in where Spider-Man gets covered in Freon and he dies, and he goes before Thanos and Death, and then he fights Thanos, and then like Death feels bad for him and lets him survive.
Well,
Yeah.
of
So
course
he actually does die.
He's gonna die by more loon again. See that? Well, at least this.
Everyone-
This is what I'm talking about, man. We talked about this
More
before
Loon?
we started the podcast, guys. And for those of you who were sending me messages on YouTube, because there were so many of you who were like, "Why didn't you talk about more loon in the totems?" Because it's stupid.
I mean,
Because
it's happened. It's now part. Morlun has attacked twice.
God.
He's gonna be back in this stupid Edge of Spider-Verse story. That's 3 epic tales with Morlun.
Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. Comic story will cover that.
Well, you have
That's
fun. You have fun talking about how Rhino wants to kill Spider-Man because rhinos hate spiders. So
No,
I
that's
mean,
not what it is.
That's
It's
exactly what it is. That's exactly
No,
how
it's
it was
not. It's
explained.
that there are all these animalistic totems, and they're all naturally attracted to each other. So, like, there's the scorpion and the rhino and the hunter and like the whatever the hell vulture. You know, like, you got all these different animal totems, and Spider-Man's one of them. And like that, like whatever. Like, and it also that story, the Book of Ezekiel, allowed you to go like, if you don't believe in this stuff, like, you don't have to. Like, it doesn't, like, I think that's what happened. But, like, if you want to believe that, like, a radioactive spider bit you and gave you spider powers and, like, crazy people dressed like animals, like, that's fine, too. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you.
Well, we
And-
know that's true. Like, you know how we know that's true? Because we have Silk.
Yeah,
We
because
have
Silk
Silk,
is-
and in the alternate timeline, I believe it's this
Gwen
one right.
Stacy.
Yeah, we have Gwen Stacy. I don't
Yeah.
even know where it's at now. Whatever.
Yeah.
that
I
is
really
so
want to know that
good.
story. I don't care what you say, Sal. I really want to know why Gwen Stacy. First, Gwen Stacy's Spider-Man in that timeline, right? But not only that, but she's Spider-Man with a hoodie. How does that help with the peripherals? You know, like
Oh,
hoodie.
I-
Like,
Oh, it just looks cool. It's literally just, it's just a good design. Like,
Yeah.
it's a bad practical design, but it's a great
That's like
looking-
90% of the women's costumes in comic books anyway. I'm gonna put bandages over my nipples, and that's gonna hold.
Well, Frank Miller's writing them, sure. But, like, man, can we talk really quick about that book? I don't know if anybody's seen, even if you've just seen the art for Edge of Spider-Verse #2 with the Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman book. I just read it yesterday, and it is so good.
I haven't
And,
read
like,
it.
it is
I'm not that
good.
big of a.
I know you're not really into the man in blue and red, but, like,
Well, I'm not that big on. And plus, it's also like
He's
the
not big
idea.
on anything after the 90s.
I'm not big on them bringing like Gwen Stacy back to the main universe because Gwen
Oh, she
Stacy
won't.
dying was extremely important for Peter Parker to
It's
like
not the same
really
one.
step into the. I know it's
Yeah.
not the same one, but it's
yeah, no, this
it's
is
symbolically
it's
the same.
funny because,
Hold on. Here's my
listen-
theory real quick. He's
Yeah.
speaking about this and the not the same one. That is going to be the okay. So they're going to get rid of Wolverine, right? We're killing off Wolverine, which is the whole point of this the beginning of this discussion. We're killing off Wolverine.
Right.
My theory is because Marvel's like, we are never bringing him back. We're never bringing him back.
yeah, they were.
At the end of this whole 8-month, because now we have 8 months till the Avengers end of time happens or something.
Yep.
The timeline's going to break. Everything's going to snap. A different Wolverine will come out of a different timeline.
You
And that'll be their way to bring him back
The
without.
Inhuman Wolverine will come
Yeah.
out of a different timeline.
Oh God.
If
and
he'll come out
then-
of a timeline, I'll be like, I'm an Inhuman. I work with Black
Then
Bolt.
all of the new mutants that were brought back in AVX were actually Inhumans. And then they're gonna kill off the rest of the mutants
I like the way
and make them Inhumans so that they can use all of the X-Men in the Marvel movies.
That
If
would
Marvel
be-
if Marvel does that, you know what I'm going to do? If Marvel does that,
gonna
If
set
Marvel
myself-
does that, I'm shutting my channel down, and I'm no longer explaining
If Marvel
Marvel.
does that, you'll
Last
become
video.
DC Explained.
Last video.
The last video will be Rob setting himself on fire in the parking lot.
No, it'll become DC Explained, and then he can
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, Robert, what
I
will
do want to say one
happen?
thing though with this though. Rob had a theory. I think it was Rob that you came up with it. That the DC universe is entirely in Batman's head.
Yes. No. It's in Superman's head.
No, it was in Batman's because it's the only reason why a guy like Batman would be better than Superman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's what it
All in
was.
his
Yes.
head.
Yeah.
So it's like the crap. What is that? Go ahead.
So here's my prediction for what happens if my prediction comes true with Rob. Rob will pick up his first DC book.
I'm telling you, he'll become DC Explained. He already came to me and said, I want to explain Superman. And I said, go for it. That is lots of history. And then Rob came back a day later and said, you are so right, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
yeah, the history
Like,
of
it's gonna
Wait,
take
wait.
me. It's
You want
gonna
to do
take
the
me like 2
history
years.
of Superman?
Yeah, okay. So here's
100-year
how this
history of
here's how this started. All right, so let me explain this because Benny's
He's like, would you be upset if I did Superman? I'm like, go for it.
no here.
I
Okay,
feel like I
so
want to do the history of.
hold on. Let me explain.
Rob, you can't just go and do the
right.
origin of Superman.
And Benny, you need to fix your microphone
no.
because your camera and your microphone's all messed up. But
Yeah.
um,
Your internet connection's bad.
all right. So here's
Derezzed.
here's how this all happened. All right. So I was sitting here and I was thinking, I wonder how people would react if I just did like a Superman explained on my Marvel Comics channel, just to see, if I could do like a Superman explained. And I think people they'd be down.
I
with it.
think,
They'd be like,
I think
cool,
April
Superman.
1, you should try that.
Well, April 1.
I think you should do
But-
a totally different intro. It should be blue.
Hold that thought. I gotta jump in and out. You're probably going to fix sound.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should
But-
do a totally new intro with like different music and a different
go.
color and like you've been doing it
Oh,
forever.
it's still shitty. I don't know what happened.
It's whatever. But,
Yeah, it's better now.
yeah.
Okay.
But so the way this whole thing started, I was sitting here, I was like, I wonder if I could do Superman. So I was experimenting with it for a while, and then Benny got online, and I was like, hey man, like let me ask you a question. He says, okay. So I hit him up I called him on Skype, and I was like, I'm thinking about doing like an explained on Superman, and he was like, what? I was like Superman, and he's like, do you have any idea how massive Superman's history is?
Yeah.
And I was
You're
like,
like, it
well,
couldn't be that bad.
like, yeah, I didn't
Literally.
think it was that bad. So like,
You
I was like, whatever.
literally.
Like,
My
had
exact
his
wording
75th
was,
inter-
I remember my exact wording was, he's the first superhero, Rob.
Yeah.
Try it.
he is. Yeah, he's the archetype for superheroes, and so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I
Which
went onto
crisis?
Wikipedia. Like I was like, whatever. I don't know anything about Superman, so I got on Wikipedia. Like that's the longest history I've ever seen for a
You don't
character.
know
I was like,
anything
You
about
put-
Superman?
I know Superman can like go faster than a speeding bullet, and he's more powerful than a
That was
locomotive, and he can leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Then
but
you
I
know
don't really-
Superman. That's
I don't
all.
know. That's all I know about Superman.
That's it. That's all you need
That's
to
why
know.
when he asked, he's like, would you be offended if I did Superman? I'm like,
You're like,
go
"Dude."
for it, man. I don't think I'll ever do that.
Yeah, that'd be like saying, like, would you be offended if I did a trip to the zoo? Like, yeah, go for it. Because it has no
I
bearing
did
on
not-
what I'm doing.
I had no idea how like woefully unprepared I was
Yeah.
to do an explain because I
Good
was
example.
looking through that and I was like, oh my god, like this would have to be like a month long endeavor explaining Superman like
Dude,
one video
you could do
every
a
day.
week. You could do just a week of the death of Superman.
Yeah.
I could like I was thinking about that. I was like, I'm not
beyond this.
explaining Superman.
And
No.
it's
Well, you
thicker
could-
than I
you
can
could
wrap
actually-
my hand around.
The omnibus, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 1,500 pages. I can barely wrap my fingers around it.
Wow,
You
that's
could
what
do.
she said.
You should do pre-Crisis Superman, Crisis Superman, post-Crisis Superman, New 50. You break it up.
Oh
Like,
Yeah.
Because
No,
there
you,
are-
you also need to at some point do Grant Morrison. I can sing Darkseid to Death Superman.
I am
Yeah.
not doing American
Hey.
Idol Superman. That's not happening.
You should also do
Rob.
All-Star Superman because it's a totally different, but it's also like a hot. Like that's the way to bookend it.
Yeah.
Then there's
It's like-
Earth One Superman. That's another universe.
Yeah, Superman
That's so
Earth
bad.
1 was
That is
good.
so horrible.
Oh my god, you're such a purist, Sal. You are such a
One was
purist.
good. I like
Earth One Superman is so lousy. Like it
No,
is.
then there's also all the Elseworlds.
It's a
What about all those?
badass.
Oh my
What,
god!
what
you
about
could do
Red Sun Superman,
Red
where he's
Sun,
a Russian?
do Union Jack Superman.
Union Jack Superman.
I am not explaining Superman.
Nightmare Superman.
Screw this, man. I'll do Batman. The hell with it.
You could do the Superman where Kal-El lands in Gotham City and a kindly couple named the Waynes raise him.
Yeah.
It's badass.
All right, so Rob, if you want to do Batman,
There's one where he
you can
becomes a
do-
Green Lantern. You can do that Superman.
Yep.
You could do Frank Miller's Superman.
Frank
you could do
Miller's
the
Superman.
incontinuity.
What a douche he
Superman.
is.
You can do New 52 Batman. You can do like the Tim Sale universe Batman.
We're gonna do Batman too. You can do
Yeah.
All-Star Batman that painted an entire room in yellow so that the Green Lantern would have no power.
That is one of the best, single issues of comic history.
Oh, I know.
Jim Lee drawing Frank Miller's insanity. What the hell?
Batman painted an entire room and wore yellow paint so
He
that the
painted
Green
his
Lantern
face.
Yeah,
He
so-
painted his own face yellow.
so that the Green Lantern would have no power over him.
And by the way, we don't even know if that's true. Like, because post-crisis Green Lantern was not immune. It was kind of nebulous, and we don't know if Batman
That was
just
legit at that point.
yeah, we don't even know which version of Green Lantern that is. So it was just because Batman assumed that he was a
No, but it was before we discovered that it was because of Parallax, and at the time he was still just there was a yellow immunity, a yellow thing in there. We didn't know why.
yeah.
I've only read the good Frank Miller Batman. I have not read any of the crazy all-star Batman stuff.
And so you guys wonder why stuff's so screwed up at DC.
Oh no, we don't.
Like
we don't.
you
I
guys
don't.
have 50 versions of the same person.
Do I need to show this again? Do I need to show the cover of the current Future's End? By the
Oh my
way,
God.
if you want to know what's going on in this cover, at some point, I don't remember when in Future's End, Future Batman was sewn together with Future Joker by Brother Eye.
Yeah, it was issue 3 or
Yeah, and in this issue, they're now sewn together, and this is them. I guess Mr. Terrific is now looking into the future and sees a cut up Batman and Joker.
Yeah,
You
I'm
see
not.
my
I'm not
face?
explaining Superman. The hell with that, because I'm not. I'm not doing that. That's nuts. All that stuff. You know what? I'll stick with Marvel characters. Now I don't know if I'll ever go as far as explaining Madcap, because I don't want to talk
Like-
about the voice in Deadpool's
Like I
head.
said, Rob.
No, that's easy enough to do.
Don't,
That's
you don't have to do DC videos, but at least read some stories that are known to be good.
You guys are talking to me about Superman, who sings a guy to death.
It's a good story.
You're
Superman-
telling me that Superman, who has all these powers, sings a guy to death.
Because
he
he's
can
You're
do
suggesting
anything.
that I read Superman. No way.
No, there are good Superman stories.
Oh.
I'm not saying that's a good Superman story.
I'm telling you, man, you should totally read. If you're even remotely interested, just read Superman Birthright. If you like it, then you can continue. If you don't, then you're never gonna like Superman.
See, I don't know. See, I get to this point where I see stuff, and I just write it off. For example, okay, so looking at the X-Men, X-Men 1, for example. All right, that movie was pretty decent. You sit down and you watch X-Men 1 and it was pretty decent. It starts
Yeah.
off easy enough, and then the movie descends into total madness because Magneto wants to turn everybody into mutants. And so I see something like that, I'm like, okay, that's dumb, and it's always going to be dumb in my eyes now forevermore. And so I think it'd be cool to read Superman, but I think the problem is if I sat down and read Superman and it turned out the Superman is just singing to people.
Yeah,
That's
Like, I
one
don't-
issue.
That's
One
That-
issue that he does
that's
that.
the thing is
And he does
you
it because
need
his
to
dark
read
side's
the
weakness.
good. You need to read the good Supermans.
Yeah.
You need to believe. The idea is that Superman is he's a beacon of hope. You believe in him, and if you Superman's earned the right to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's kind of Grant Morrison. I think that's Grant Morrison's point. He's Superman he's earned the right to
I'm
be
just Scottish.
stupid. That is Grant Morrison. Grant
I know
Morrison
that
is Scottish.
Wait, you're not Scottish. You're from Jersey.
No, but he sounds
You
like
just
that.
insulted every Scottish person in existence.
Let me tell you something. That's what Grant Morrison sounds like.
What are you, Sal? A xenophobe?
Yeah.
Is that what you are now?
A xenophobe?
Yeah,
Isn't that one of the aliens in Aliens versus Predator?
Those are
No, it's a
xenomorphs.
xenomorph.
Oh.
A xenophobe? The xenophobes are chasing us.
The
The
southern
queen
portion of the galaxy.
xenophobe.
We are so far off topic, it's not even funny. So
We
Death
are.
of Wolverine, everybody's enjoying it. We can agree with that, right?
It's
Death,
fantastic.
Death of Wolverine's okay. I'm glad to see
Okay.
Wolverine's coming to an end, but it's by far it's pretty far away from the best Wolverine story I've ever read.
Let me tell you something.
Whoa.
I'd say it's the best one in a while.
Steve McNiven's art has never been better.
Oh, that I agree with. That I agree.
Oh.
I don't think there's really any debate here on
Did
that.
Dave just come?
Yeah, excuse me. I gotta go change my pants.
Oh, Steve McNiven's art.
Well, the first
Wolverine
time
claws, man.
it'll happen a couple more.
Shnink! Shwink!
Snicked!
Snicked.
Shwink.
I knew you. I was trying to get you to go.
Swing!
Shwink!
It's like Wayne's World. Like
Wayne's
swing.
World. That is nothing.
Wayne's World.
Party
Oh
on!
man.
Nobody even knows what that is anymore.
Okay.
All right. So
So,
what's the
like,
next topic you want
What
to
are they
talk about?
talking about?
So yeah, exactly. So all right.
Is that
Anyway,
better?
Death of Wolverine, totally worth picking up.
Yes.
It's unfortunately delayed, and we're getting a Greg Land variant on the 3rd issue or the 4th issue. Great.
I don't even care about variants. Like, I looked at the variant covers for Death of Wolverine #1, and there was like 8 or 9 of them,
Oh yeah.
and some
I
of
got
them were like $20, and I was like, what? Why the heck would you pay $20 for a single comic
Let me tell you something. I've
just
seen
for
it happen.
one page of it? Like
It's
one outer.
confounding. I don't know why.
I mean, a variant would have to be exceptionally cool for me to go out and get one. Like, it'd have
Well,
to
if
be
that's
pretty
the case,
amazing.
Just make it your desktop wallpaper. Like, why do you
Yeah.
need to have like a comic book with that cool
This is-
image? Like,
This is another thing. Is like the main cover that's like kind of like shimmery and holographic, as cool as it is.
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the other thing is that book is the Death of Wolverine collected, like actually like printed, is so pretty, and it gets like you get sketches, you get little like descriptions of
Yeah.
what the writing was all about. You have this like theme of color throughout the issues. It's just like I except for that awful Rocket Raccoon ad right in the first page.
You hate those.
What's so
Like,
fucking distracting?
It is.
He's just
It
Rocket,
is.
and it's such a crappy looking action figure. He's like,
But
yeah,
hey-
and you're like, that's not even what he looks like. That looks like
They
Weird.
did it. They did it in the front, so they didn't have to like stick 3 in the middle of the comic.
right.
Yeah.
But don't put them in at all. Just or do what IDW does and just shove them all at the end. Like
Yeah.
IDW and Image books just end with like 4 or 5 different pages of ads, like a magazine in there.
Well, see,
but it's
that's
great because it doesn't interrupt the book.
that's why it's not upset to me. It's not upsetting to me when I go through a comic and they're not like in the middle of it. Because I mean, you guys remember like way back when, like they would be in the middle of it. You'd go through like 3 or 4 pages, and it was like, "Do you want to become muscular?" And it's like some guy on a beach.
I want
Yeah,
extra
It'd be like
text,
2 or
though.
3 ads.
So
yeah.
so
And then
here
you'd have to skip through 'em.
here is the reason I think the marketing strategy for having ads in the front is better than in the back, because I'd imagine myself getting to the back of a comic, seeing ads and going,
You know what? You're
Yeah.
actually 100% right because,
Oh, I
in
do.
all honesty, I do a lot of testing with the marketing on my various channels on YouTube here. And if you put anything in the end, anyone who watches their retention realizes everyone turns their video off like a minute before the ending.
Right.
So
It's
anything you're
weird
trying to
because,
plug,
like,
no one watches. So I started plugging things in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that worked. And for the record, I bought that Rocket Raccoon thing based upon that ad in that magazine. So I bought that statue
it's Benny's fault that we
That
have
huge
ads in
figure.
comic books.
because I bought
see that
it.
figure in the store, and it's like this big, and it's
Yeah.
dumb.
That's not dumb. Dude, have you
He
seen
looks
my house?
awful.
You've
He
seen
doesn't
my
look like-
background. I'm gonna film all this crap. You know what I bought today? A Supergirl action figure sitting in my bedroom
Why?
Wow.
because it goes with the collection.
Because it goes with the collection. I mean, what?
We're doomed.
Come
Why
on,
wouldn't
man.
I buy it? You know what? You know what's right here? I got Sylvanas from World of Warcraft
Wow.
that I just broke her. I think.
What
You know what I got
Marvel's
over here?
going to
Hold on.
start doing
You know what I got
is
over here?
that-
Here's that Batman.
Yeah,
Here's
let's
the
pull out
Batman.
all our
The Batman-
toys.
If you go look at the background, that's the Batman Catwoman kiss over there that I'm not picking up because it was $400.
Oh, the
I've
Jim
got
Lee
my
one? That's-
Oh, I
I've
can't
got
hear
my
you.
custom Xbox 360 controller.
Okay, you were saying?
I got
I
it.
mean,
You got Toxic Crusader. What are you
I've
complaining
got
about?
my energy drink,
Man,
but
man, it's a Ninja Turtle character.
I've got my
we're
I've
gonna
got my
get
Gambit from Five Pawns.
Benny bought that figure is we're gonna get part 1 and part 2 of issue certain number, and it's gonna be 10 pages of ads and 10 pages of comic book, and they're going to be $5 a piece. So you're gonna end up paying $10
Yeah.
and getting 20 pages of ads because Benny bought that one action figure.
They won't let me
Oh,
go get it. It's not here yet. I ordered it off Amazon. I'm waiting for it to come in.
Oh, you actually? Oh, I thought you were trolling.
I really
me.
did.
You
Wow.
really
I'm
thought
not-
that-
I really did. I also got the one where he's hanging out on Groot.
Well, that's
Wow.
The
Yeah,
one where
there
he's
is
hanging
a
out.
really cool, like, I think it's Hot Toys that's making a statue of Groot with Rocket Raccoon on top.
that's-
And I want to get that.
I know Funko's doing one.
I've
Wow,
got the
Funko's
whole
still
DC
around?
Bombshells line with the 1950s appearance over there.
Those are cool.
I met the guy who sculpted those. He lives down the street. He said if I bring all my stuff, he'll sign it.
Holy
Really?
shit, man.
Yeah, apparently, I met
Dude,
him at
I'd be
Denver
all
Comic Con.
over that.
He was there and he was sculpting the new one, the Black Canary one that hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I love these. I got them at my house. They're on display. He's like, you know what? I live over like down the street from here. If you just come by with the statues, I'll sign them.
That's awesome.
I'm
Wow.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. I'd be like, okay, like
Yeah.
give me like 5 minutes and I'll be back.
Here, let me
Right?
buy 20 of this one and I'll sell them
Yeah,
on
right.
Okay. So getting us back on topic.
Yes.
Oh, we have a
So yeah, so we had a so our topic after the death of Wolverine is we want to talk about the Punisher, and it's really more speculation than anything else. But having read Original
Did you release
Sin,
that video?
huh?
Did you read that? Release your video on the Punisher?
No,
Oh, Rob's got a.
it was supposed to be a surprise, you ass.
Oh,
And you just ruined it. Thank
No one
you.
knows it's in it.
Benny
It's
is-
incredible.
Okay,
They
fine,
are
guys.
Ruined
I'm gonna do a video about the Punisher after Infinity Gauntlet, but
Oh, that's
he
awesome.
ruined it.
Did you
Here's
show-
my question: are you gonna do the part where the Punisher was recruited by God and angels and gave
No.
him a angel gun?
No, I'm leaving that out, and I'm leaving out Punisher Max.
you're-
Well, Punisher Max is the only damn good.
I know, but the problem with Punisher
my
Max is
God.
it's like Punisher Max is so adult oriented. Like literally, there's like Punisher Max issue number 24.
I was just pretty
Somebody busts into Frank Castle's apartment and he jumps out of bed and like his girlfriend, like the chick in bed, her
Yeah.
tits are hanging out. Like
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Punisher- like
It's-
Max is like the adult oriented imprint for Marvel.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I'm gonna like have boobs plastered all over my YouTube channel.
Mhm, that's true.
I might just go ahead like I might make
Yeah.
a thing ahead of the time, like before the video, and say like this video has like adult oriented material, because I feel like with the Punisher, if I'm gonna do the Punisher explained, like it's gotta be like the Punisher.
Yeah.
Just
the
like
regular
gratuitous
Punisher
violence,
is,
killing
like,
people,
yeah.
and
bloody and
horrible.
gory and crap, and you don't have to show the panels with tits.
That's
There you
true.
go. Or you
That's
just black bar sense of them. It'll be funnier.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Like for the
But,
record,
I'll teach you how to do tracking in After Effects.
He missed one.
yeah, you have to teach me how to do tracking in After Effects.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. But all right, so after reading Original Sin, am I the only one around here that wants to see like a team up with Punisher and Rocket Raccoon?
No, you are not. 'Cause I
No,
would
that's
love
I would love to see that.
Punisher and Doctor Strange was not a good team up.
Oh,
No.
dude.
Punisher and Doctor Strange was not.
No, that was a
It was
that
not
was
as
a
cool
terrible
as I was
idea.
hoping it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was
And
just
it's so
it was kind of
pretentious.
expected. Doctor Strange being like, "You disgust me."
Yeah.
That's
I
kind
mean,
of
it's-
Who
what
destroys whole planets.
I mean,
In
that's pretty much it. Like he was like, there's no difference between you and the person who's like killed countless people and like organisms and planets. Like you're pretty much the same person. I'm like, what a shitty thing to say to a person.
It's true.
I just
I
realized
agree with
that you have in the title what we're supposed to be talking about.
What are you talking? Yeah, like Death of Wolverine, Punisher, and all new X-Men. And but anyway,
I thought
so
you were
so, like,
winging it.
Punisher.
no, I wasn't winging it. Yeah, it's in the title. I mean, just because it's in the title doesn't mean like we're only going to talk about what's in the title. It's just like here's a
happens.
general idea of
Weekly
what
bullet.
may or may not be talked about during this podcast. But no, yeah, I really want to see a Rocket Raccoon, even if it's only for like 5 issues or 6 issues, like a limited series run. It
I think
can,
a one shot.
yeah, even if it's a
Just
one
one
shot.
shot.
Hilarious to see Punisher in space with Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Especially if
Mhm.
you take like the Scotty Young storyline.
Oh, I
where
want-
There's like 1,001 different aliens.
Yes.
Here's my pitch. Punisher, Rocket Raccoon, drawn by Scotty Young, written by Garth Ennis. Go.
Yeah. Sold. I'll buy that.
I mean,
Right?
it's not going to be bad.
Well,
No, well, I gotta
I
think
don't
of somebody
think it
who's not as high risk as Garth Ennis, because Garth Ennis could be either great
No.
or horrible.
But here's the thing about Garth Ennis, though. Like, if you put Garth Ennis on a project like this, you're talking about, like, Rocket Raccoon, who already has, like, a huge fan base, just by virtue of the movie Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
And then Punisher, who is just an incredibly violent guy and kills criminals
He's got a fan
indiscriminately.
base.
Yep.
No, he's
So-
got like a crazy fan base.
Yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, he's got a cult following kind of thing.
I know
Like-
people who will only buy Punisher books.
Oh yeah, but you're when you're
Yeah.
talking about like when you say like fan bases for Punisher, like the Punisher fan bases fall in the same line as
scare-
like Captain Marvel fan bases and or like I would say not Captain
So
Marvel, I
are
would say
there
like
niche audiences?
yeah, niche audiences. They're cult followings, like Howard the Duck fan bases. People who are like, yes. Like
Is
the
there a
Punisher.
fan base for Howard the
hope there
Duck?
Yeah, there's a fan base for
Oh,
Howard
yeah.
the Duck. Like I'm one of them.
I hope there are
No,
more
I don't like
Punisher
Howard the
I was
fans.
like, really? You were complaining when you went through the Howard the Duck story.
Yeah, I
you were
hate-
like,
I
I don't
hate
even
Howard
know
the
if I
Duck.
should put this out.
Howard
There's
the
an
Duck is like the
adult
dumbest thing
fan
ever.
base for action figures.
Yes.
I don't know who would buy action figures.
One of them is in the middle of this screen right now.
Shut up!
But no, like yeah, there's like a niche following for Punisher, and it's a cult following kind of thing. So you've got people who are huge fans of both characters, of Rocket Raccoon, of Punisher, and so on. And I think that if you were to combine these two things together, then you would have an incredible combination. And this is why I think Marvel screwed up by having Bucky Barnes be the man on the wall. Because by having Frank Castle play the man on the wall, that means now he can be part of the spacefaring conflicts. He
Yeah.
can just show up in the middle of some space event with Rocket Raccoon and just start wiping stuff out.
But I think that's the problem. Because, okay, you take Bucky and you put him out there and you do all this crazy crap. That's kind of expected of Bucky. When the first thing came up, we were all like, Bucky's going to be the guy to do it.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier does crazy time travel, and he's been, changed around and worked with Nick Fury before. The Punisher, as far as I can remember, has never had any really out there storylines. It's always been about.
There's a book
Frankencastle.
called Frankencastle.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. We're not
What is
talking about.
Frankencastle? I gotta know what
Frankencastle is-
Frankencastle.
It's built directly in with Siege.
Frank Castle
Dakin,
was- or
Wolverine's
Frank Castle was
bisexual son, kills and slices up Punisher and dumps him in the sewer. But then, like, I think the Morlocks or something, like, pick up his pieces, and then like a bunch of like supernatural characters, like Man Thing and Werewolf by Night and stuff, like put him back together, and like Frankenstein him up because they need to use him to like kill whatever was bothering them. People said it was the most fun they've had reading Punisher books in years. I thought it was
Other than that.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Like,
also because-
Punisher has never had like you've never seen Punisher in like a major spacefaring crossover event.
Because he's out of place. The
Yeah.
Punisher doesn't use laser
Yeah,
guns,
you
crazy
don't
stuff.
see-
Punisher's like, I've got a shotgun. Why is the alien not dying?
I
Yeah,
agree, and
you
that's
don't
why
see
that's why Punisher
Daredevil.
Max was so good because of that. Because it was just like Punisher just killing criminals.
yeah,
Like that's all it
said
was.
best.
It was just
They said
basic.
it best. Daredevil isn't up there either. Why we could put Daredevil in something crazy. Daredevil barely leaves Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's because nobody leads him out of there since he's blind, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
He's
can-
in San Francisco. He's wherever. He's on the West Coast now.
Oh, he
Oh, is he
moved?
part of like West Coast Avengers now?
No, there's no West Coast Avengers.
Yeah,
He
there
just-
are. There's
Or
there
West
used to
Coast.
be.
There's
There aren't
super-
anymore.
There's
No,
there's,
what?
there's superheroes fighting on the West Coast. They may not
Yes,
be
but
West
there's
Coast
no.
Avengers.
There used
but
to be
they're-
a chapter of the West Coast Avengers, but that's closed.
Are there any superheroes for Ohio?
There used
No.
to be a team. Hang on.
You got the
Ohio
50
is-
state initiative based out of.
Let me see who
State.
that was on. Which is the initiative?
I want to get the
Corn
runs on.
Cob Boy and Cow Milker Man.
I
think
wanna
they had a
read
list
Great
for
Lakes
everybody.
Avengers.
They did. There was a list for all 50 states. I don't remember who they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you
Ohio,
had. I know in Las Vegas, I think you had the Thunderbolts. In New York, you had like the most important people basically.
Yeah. The Thunderbolts were Colorado, I think.
Colorado. That's what it was. Colorado.
Okay, Ohio was made up of agents of armor whose job it was to protect the Earth 616 from threats from alternate realities. Howard the Duck
Really?
is sent to find Machine Man.
Wow.
Oh, this is awesome. This is a great team.
Well, Machine Man.
No wonder we never heard
Machine
of that.
Man was in Marvel Zombies.
Yes.
He was traveling to try to stop the zombies from getting to the 616.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
and
think.
Howard the Duck had a cameo at the end of the first Marvel Zombies publication when
Yep.
he was eating somebody. I don't remember who. It
Oh,
was.
okay. I need to ask your guys' opinion on this real quick. So
Yep.
I've been getting slammed like crazy with requests to do Marvel Zombies, which I'm going to do for Halloween. That's my Halloween book.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Now I've read all the Marvel Zombies. I need your opinions on this. Technically, canon-wise, the Marvel Zombies are Deadites from Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Yes.
Are we ignoring that technically?
I would not. Like, the way I would explain it is you would have to tie it in with
Ash
Dark
versus Zombie
Horse.
or
You'd have to tie it in with
Ash
Dark
versus
Horse
Zombie.
comics
Yeah.
and Ash traveling to the because remember like the Marvel Zombies started out in an alternate reality of the Marvel universe.
Of the Ultimate.
No,
Yeah.
they're separate.
Oh, yeah.
But the Marvel Zombies basically did their entire run of them just being zombies, going into space, going cosmic zombie, and all that other
Yes.
crap. Then they came out with the Army of Darkness tie-in, where we find out that apparently Ash and Spider-Man started this whole thing, and it's technically Deadites.
Yes.
And everyone hates that book.
And that's that. Well, I would
Yeah.
mention it just for the sake of saying like, here's what Marvel and Dark Horse are saying.
Yeah.
But-
this is how it started. I
Yeah.
kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of fun.
I thought it was really fun.
I liked the book, but I was I was gonna throw it in there, but after doing research on opinions on canon, and like everyone's like, we ignore that book.
Yeah, they usually do, but like, it's stupid anyway.
It's
Like,
still a part of the story.
Well, it's also
Like, just because it's bad doesn't mean you like instantly omit it.
yeah.
But remember,
Well,
like
technically,
you,
because it came out so late after the series, though. That's why I'm thinking we could technically just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could
But
technically leave
if,
it out.
if you do that, then they never really explain where the zombie virus began.
yeah,
no,
like
and
if,
that's fine. You don't really need to know because, like,
Yeah,
sometimes zombies just happen, man.
yeah. It was just like last week over in New Jersey. I heard you were fighting them with baseball bats.
It's true. I was leading the revolution against the zombie uprising. Thankfully, we prevailed.
That's why we didn't have a
Yeah.
podcast last week. Sal was
That's
busy
exactly
fighting
right.
zombies.
I'm sorry to say.
You didn't get bitten, did you?
Oh, I mean, like I got a scratch or something, but I mean,
well, you
You
gotta.
just-
I mean,
you
just
yeah,
if you just like lop off your arm, it'll be fine. But if you guys want to see the video of like Sal fighting the zombies, you can find it at TV Little House. Like,
yeah, go to
Oh,
see
yeah.
the
like he
little
was
house.
he was
deep in
swinging
there.
a barbed wire baseball bat and recording
it
it with
is-
an iPhone at the same time. It was the most beastly thing I've ever seen.
Basically,
It's-
if you can't find it, watch every video we've ever made, and then like everyone.
Is it end bumper on a random video, and he doesn't remember which one he put it on?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
may be 2 years back on the channel.
Yeah,
And if-
it's like
if
a
I'm-
cheat code. Yeah, you have to like every video, and then the
Yep.
video. will
If
pop
I'm
up.
wrong, though, you got to get all your friends to subscribe to the channel and then like it. And buy a T-shirt.
Sal
Buy
forgot
a
to
t-shirt.
set it up.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like what I would do here is
According to Sultry breaking news, Deadpool movie will be released in February 2016.
Let's see about that.
yeah, let's see about that.
All right,
Um,
as you were saying, Rob, I just
but-
wanted to throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, what I would say here is if you plan on explaining Marvel Zombies, there's a lot of ground to cover. I mean, you're talking about like tie-ins to Marvel Zombies. So you're talking about when Reed Richards and Doctor Doom
Rob,
switched
Rob.
minds, and
Yep.
That's
talking-
your channel when you do Marvel Zombies. I'll admit all of that and just be like, the zombies ate the people!
And they put the son of Black Panther. They put his brain in Captain America's
I
body.
put his
and-
brain in Captain America.
There's
And then
one,
there was
Colonel
the
America.
zombie that jumped somebody
It was
else.
Colonel America.
there's
That's right. It's
one
Colonel
big
America.
transition in Marvel
Doesn't-
Zombies, and that's after the whole Earth gets consumed by the zombie infestation. They eat Galactus, and then they start
Oh,
flying
I
around.
love that. I love
Oh,
that,
yeah,
dude. Galactus
greatest thing
shows
ever,
up.
yeah.
Like the Silver Surfer shows up and they eat him, and then
Yeah.
Galactus shows up and he
And
was
they eat
like,
him.
yeah, he was like, what happened? Like, where is the Herald? He's
Yeah.
like, and
And he's
Spider-Man's
like,
like, you're
"Oh,
talking about
oh,
the guy in
oh."
silver? And he was like, yes. And they were like, we ate him. And Galactus is like, what?
And then
And
they
then they
eat
start
Galactus and they
flying.
travel the universe eating planets.
yeah, they
I
consume everything.
honestly, I love that irony of like I don't really like Marvel Zombies, but that moment of Galactus being consumed
Yeah.
was amazing. It's like that's.
But they
My
started
favorite
attacking
thing
each
about
other, and like it's
Zombies
crazy.
is the first book, and I think the second book are great.
Yeah,
And then decided to not continue that story for the third and fourth books, and then the fifth book goes back to those guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
It got a little crazy, but okay. So if you're gonna skip all the tie-ins and stuff like that, then I would just say that at some point along the line, Marvel and Dark Horse got together and said it was explained by, the Deadites and like Ash and the Army of Darkness. But you could just kind of mention, well, whether or not
But-
you consider this to be canon is up to you or something like that.
Exactly. It's
I
really
could say that. Yeah.
So,
This is what they're stating. You decide if you want this or not.
I mean, Marvel Zombies was a really fun story to read. It was a great
Yeah.
fun story. Like I enjoyed it. I had a great time reading it.
I think they kind of milked that cow till it was dead. But
Oh yeah, it came out at the perfect
Yeah.
time. Like zombie craze was nuts.
Robert
it-
Kirkman wrote it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah. The Walking Dead guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put
And
us on
also
a
the
completely
Invincible
different tangent, but that was based off of a comment someone said. So
I
Oh,
mean,
by the way, I will build off of that. Apparently, it's true. The Deadpool movie according to the Hollywood Reporter, is happening February 2016. Tim Miller is still attached to direct the project with no deal set for a long-term star because Ryan Reynolds kind of dropped out, but we don't know anything about that. So the only thing we know is Deadpool for 2016 February. Tim Miller is going to direct it. Huh?
I thought he wanted to come back. Like, he's been up and down. Like,
yeah,
he
I
wants
thought
to
he
be a
was like,
superhero.
Yeah,
and
but he's probably like, he's probably like, fool me once, shame on like you. Like, I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. If I were Ryan Reynolds, I would stand by any possibility of playing Deadpool, because that's like, I mean, that would solidify him as because he was a great Deadpool, and
he was a great Green Lantern. The story around him sucked ass.
oh my God, you're so full of crap, Benny. He
That was a good Green
terrible.
Ring finger.
but it was
There
really.
it is. Ring finger. Who else has a Green Lantern ring at their desk?
I don't.
I have mine
Look
in
at
my
you.
own.
I looked for a really nice one because I wanted one. I couldn't find it.
I'm a grown up, so I don't have.
So
that
if
kind of
any
stuff.
if any of you guys happen
Growing up.
On a comic
any
book
of you guys
podcast, Rob.
happen if any of you guys happen upon a really nice Green Lantern ring for a good price that isn't like $300.
I'll send you this one. It's plastic.
Yeah, those I can get for free. I'll get you.
Hold on.
got-
I just need Blech!
My plastic Green Lantern ring. I have the ones that came out with the Blackest Night with the lanterns and stuff. I'm still trying
Oh,
to get
yeah?
that collection.
Yeah, that was cool. I got a Black Lantern ring somewhere.
But yeah, so the rumor mill about the Punisher in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that he was
Yes.
driving like the yellow Penske truck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's being circulated. Like Marvel's saying that the fact that he showed up twice in the same movie, and most part like showed up, so I guess maybe assist Captain America, or to at the very least maybe cause some like confusion among what was going
Wait.
on, was that it was not accidental.
What
Wait,
movie?
he's in there?
Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yeah,
There's a yellow
there's-
Penske truck that makes two appearances,
Yeah.
and Marvel is saying like during the special features, Marvel was saying that was not an accident. Like
Okay.
they intentionally put it in there, and supposedly the rumor is that they're setting that up for Frank Castle, because Marvel got the rights back to Frank Castle in 2012. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, if we see the Punisher in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Yeah.
there's two things they need to do. One, they need to give him Netflix, because they can set the character
Yes.
up great, and they can do whatever they want with this character in Netflix. People are paying to see it, so it doesn't abide by, censors or anything like that. And so they can have like down home, violent, gratuitous, horrible Frank Castle just killing people arbitrarily and torturing them. And that would be the Frank Castle everybody knows and loves. And then
Yeah.
they could build off that and then just have him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and show up at some point in time. I don't know.
I hope just like House of Cards, they put out the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff on Blu-ray too.
Yeah,
Because I'm a sucker for having a physical copy of stuff.
it makes sense. I mean, people like to be able to collect that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what Marvel was saying about the Punisher, is that they've been setting it up so that he's going to be in there. And so I'm really hoping that we see, and I want to see Thomas Jane come back. Thomas Jane was a great
Love
Punisher.
to see that. I would love to see that. He is so good.
Yeah.
I
And if
liked
you're not
that last
convinced-
movie.
I loved what?
That last Punisher movie?
Oh, the
Punisher
one
Warzone?
Warzone
Yeah.
that was awful, and that wasn't
yeah, I
him.
didn't like it at all.
I liked that one. I thought he was a great Punisher, and the story was just down to earth. And it's kind of like the Last Judge
He
Dredd
wasn't-
movie. They
if
didn't go
you-
He
He
wasn't a
Judge
good
Dredd was
actor.
Really good.
If you want to see like a really good Punisher, go watch Laundry Day
Yeah.
on YouTube. Like it's Thomas Jane, and it's like this like 8-minute long
Yep.
video, and it is so awesome. That's the Punisher I want to see
Yeah.
on Netflix.
It's also, by the way, made by the same guy who did Dread, so like
Yeah.
that's why it feels so good.
Yeah, like it's violent too, man. Like he breaks the guy's arms and legs, and then like he
Oh.
sits a lighter down in front of him, and then like the hooker that guy beat up like walks up and just like throws it on him, and like he just
Yeah.
burns alive.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
The,
amazing.
The Punisher, I think, would be such a great reveal.
Mm-hmm.
I like Punisher could show up in a Captain America movie, that'd be fine, but I'd much rather see him be like a story arc in the Netflix Marvel series. Like, because they're making Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and I think Iron Fist.
Yeah,
And then a
And
team
then
up.
and they're each going to get their own series, like season, and then they're going to do another season after that of them on a team called the Defenders. I would love to see a thread throughout that series be the Punisher. Like that
Yeah.
there's this crazy guy in a black t-shirt with a skull on it that keeps murdering people in their zones.
It could fit in Netflix.
I think
the
it
best
would.
place for it.
They could.
And then if it works, they could easily just be like, and a Punisher show, because it costs like $12 an episode to make a guy with a black t-shirt kill people. Like, that's nothing. So, like, do it.
And it doesn't even need to be like in your face. It can just be like on the news, like a mass vigilante, you know, has been spotted
even mass,
killing
just a-
somebody or something.
Yeah.
So
But
A
Here's what
nondescript dude murdering people.
here's what I'm wondering in terms of like what's going on the other side of the fans is who's paying who? Is Netflix paying Disney for the rights to make these things? Is there some kind of exchange like Netflix is paying Disney some amount of money to host these things?
I have no idea.
I think it was just that they were being asked, like they were like, we want to make a show, and Netflix like probably won the bid. And Netflix was like, we'll do it.
Yeah, but Netflix is like buying everything. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. So far, I've liked almost everything they've done. I even watched Horseman BoJack, and that was good.
House of Cards is
House of
amazing,
Cards is
and that's
amazing.
one
Yeah.
of the first TV series to ever be shot on a 4K camera.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
that show is hands down.
Okay,
probably the best show
Horseman
that comes
BoJack
out.
does not beat House of Cards, but it is still a good Netflix show.
Yes,
The only thing they've made that kind of sucks was Lilyhammer, that like mobster in another region.
I didn't mind it, but I lost interest like a good ways into it. Like I got like I think a little over halfway, and I just stopped watching.
Yeah, I just heard negative things. I was like, people were just like, skip it, and I'm like, okay.
It was just one of those ones that was just kind of took so long to really get anything going, and it wasn't even like a Netflix original. It was actually out elsewhere, and they just bought it for the U.S. release.
I mean, it's
And I didn't like the Arrested Development season, whatever they did.
People didn't really like that at all.
Yeah.
so-
Because they did one day. The whole thing is one day, and what everyone did on this one day.
Yeah.
So you have
It's like
13
24.
episodes of one day.
That's really weird.
They also have Agent Carter coming up on
Yeah.
ABC,
yeah. I'm
Um,
excited
which
about
I'm
that.
excited about.
The
I'm
marketing guy we
wondering
talked
if
to, he was just saying that that's coming out between S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, I guess when S.H.I.E.L.D. goes on a Christmas break, that comes out.
like a hiatus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if like Howard Stark is gonna show up in that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, they cast him. Yeah.
yeah.
Like the show's supposed to
Awesome.
revolve around like the foundation of Shield, more or less, like how
That's
Shield
cool.
got started.
I think Howard
That is
Stark's gonna be
really
like a main character.
Yeah.
Is it
wouldn't
the
be
same
surprised.
guy from the movie, or do we recast
Same
him?
guy from the movie, like the young guy from Captain America: The First Avenger.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about it because for a couple of reasons. One, because again, like I'm glad to see that Agent Carter is going to get some representation, and two, because the chick that plays Agent Carter is really hot.
Always.
Why
with
do
the
you
women
always gotta
around.
make things creepy?
Haley Atwell, man, that is my homegirl.
That's good to know.
That's a
One
would
day
you
you're
say,
gonna be
oh,
top
that's what makes it
burner.
creepy. The peace sign does not help.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But
She's
no,
not-
I'm really excited because I like that Marvel's going back and explaining how like the early days of Shield and how
Oh, yeah.
like the whole thing came to fruition and like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because I like reading about and like seeing that kind of stuff where they talk about like history and whatnot. So I'm pretty psyched. But I think that that Agent Carter has the potential to be amazing. It just depends on what Marvel does with it because Marvel's notorious for having really good ideas and then screwing them up.
Yeah.
So
They haven't played up to this point. We had a few filler movies,
Yeah.
but they weren't horrendous. Like I wouldn't tell anyone don't go watch Iron Man 2. Just
No.
only watch it once.
Yeah,
like
but
Iron
I
Man
would
2.
tell people Iron Man 3 is like you don't really need to watch that movie.
You don't need to see Iron Man.
You need to watch
Iron
them
Man 2
all.
is fun. At least you got Sam Rockwell being hilarious.
Yes, he was so
All right.
funny. He
I
was so
want
funny.
more. I'm so disappointed that Justin Hammer was not a main antagonist on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed that they didn't, like, oh, wouldn't it have been great? Here's the thing, just this is pretty much for Rob, and maybe some people in the chat who know Marvel, but wouldn't it have been great if they had made Justin Hammer the head of the Roxxon Corporation? Like,
that would have made perfect
Well,
sense to me.
yeah.
I mean,
See, a lot of friends of mine and a lot of what I see on the internet is that the excuse for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not showing more development in the actual story and showing cool stuff is that they wanted to establish all of the characters
yeah, and that's
in
fair.
the first season, and that's okay.
It was
But
the Whedon method. That's what
Well,
he did in
people
all
are-
his old shows. The problem
Yeah.
is, and the reason why I don't think Agents of Shield did too well the first season, at least the first half of the season,
Yeah, first
is the
half.
Whedon method was great when we had shows that were doing that. It blended in well. Buffy and Angel came out at a time we were just getting lost. We were just getting all these shows with constant continuities and building of characters and stuff like that. That's the Whedon method of doing things. And now in 2013, when that came out, we don't really the viewing public likes to just get to the bang as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Lost ruined the general viewing public because nobody wants to invest time hoping it's going to pay off anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, plus
we
like,
want to pay off right away.
the entire series ended like crap. It's like, oops, well, you're all dead anyway. So you know.
Exactly, and that's why nobody wants to spend all this time investing for a big payoff that we may or may not get at the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I liked what they did with Shield, and I'm like disappointed that people are like, the Sith episode's the best episode. I'm like, that was a fun episode.
Yeah.
But that's not,
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, no. Like, we don't need just non-stop cameos of superpowered characters and our main characters being like, well, that person's really effective. Look at her do some stuff. Like, no, you just want to watch Avengers. Like, that's what the Netflix shows are for. If you want to see superheroes teaming up and fighting other people, then you're going to watch Avengers, Avengers 2, you're going to see maybe Captain America 3, like,
Yeah.
you know, and you're going to watch the Netflix shows. But if you want to see, like, well, apparently you don't want to see regular people existing in the Marvel Universe,
Yeah.
so, you know, that's not for you. Like, meh. But,
Yeah, but
I'm
here's the
sure...
kicker. The show's
I'm
never
sure
going away.
Oh, no. I'm sure S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 will be non-stop. I'm sure that they'll just be... But, like,
yeah.
you can't have Iron Man because he's only got one picture in him and, like, in his contract, so...
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get Iron Man. You're not going to get Chris Evans. He doesn't want to act anymore. You're not going to get...
No, I thought Chris Evans said that
He
he
came
wouldn't
back this
mind
season.
being around for a few more Captain
No.
America movies.
Good.
I don't know
He's
the
great.
particulars. I don't know the
Yeah, he's really good,
particulars
Captain
of the contract, of course, but I would assume that they could like show Iron Man
Yeah,
in
they-
the show, like just CGI the crap out of him
Yeah.
and just have him in his Iron Man suit and just have him voice. I don't know if that counts as an appearance.
They
Or
just,
if that-
clip his voice, but they basically what's that?
Yeah.
Soundboard him in
Oh no,
Yeah.
from the
no.
movies.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it,
Oh no! Whiplash is coming to kill me. No, I don't think that fits here, man.
Exactly.
oh, the Crimson Dynamo. Well, you know, I mean, you know, I get that.
I need to get this core reactor removed from my chest.
I would be curious. I'm curious what Marvel's going to do because Marvel with, I don't know why they did this, but with Iron Man, Marvel took a C-list character and just made him like super popular,
Yep.
and just hyped him up. Because Iron Man was never that popular. Like
His
for those of you
comics are
guys,
not that
for those of
good.
you guys that don't read Marvel comics or don't know a whole lot about Iron Man was an almost irrelevant character. Like the only time he was ever relevant was during Civil War and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then he was just bam, he was
The
huge.
only real
So-
relevance Tony Stark had before the movie and made him huge was he was the superhero who had the money.
Yeah,
That was his relevance. He would always
bankrolling
show
the
up.
Avengers.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
bankrolling everything. That was kind of his whole thing. And I don't even like his current storylines. I keep trying to jump into it, and I don't like where they're going with him right now.
I've
No,
tried
he's-
to get into Iron Man comics since the movie, and I can never get into any of them.
Because
I
he's
feel
just
like
not
what-
that good of a character.
He's not.
It's like his Rose Gallery sucks. His character is difficult to get behind because either he's a douche or he's a tool. And like, so which version do you want? Like,
Yeah.
or
he
he's a
makes
Robert Downey Jr.
ton of
ripoff.
mistakes.
Yeah.
He just screws everything up. Like,
Well, I mean,
like
not even.
then
not even,
he's a dick about it later. He's like, "Oh yeah, that happened, but that happened before."
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
all
not even
good now.
necessarily so much that, but it is like how often do you really want to read a comic about a guy like Original Sin? Like I talked about this during my Hulk versus Iron Man, my Hulk versus Iron Man video, and this is what I didn't like about Marvel. Because the question was, well, why is it that like if Tony Stark was the one responsible for Bruce Banner becoming the Incredible Hulk in 1962, why does he remember that? Marvel was just like, well, you know, like.
Well, but he's
Cause
not.
he
Like,
was
that's so
reasons.
cool is
You
that
know,
he
I mean,
wasn't...
that's it. Like they wrote it off. They just said, well, you know, he drinks alcohol.
Right.
And
Reasons.
So, like he
Get a
just had
black-
blackout. Yeah, reasons. They're just like, well, you know what, hell with it. Like, here's just like a really lazy explanation and just write it off as that. And I'm like, that's so lazy. That's just the laziest. Like, well, he was an alcoholic and he just blacked out and forgot. Like, how do you forget?
No, no,
like,
no,
how do you forget that much?
The way
like,
they
of
do
your
it is
life?
he knew what he had done, but like it was still hazy as to what had happened with the whole thing. But because he was drinking during that time, and they make it very clear that in every panel in the 1960s, he's holding the liquor bottle.
Yeah, he was
Yep.
an alcoholic. In the 60s.
Right.
Yeah, he's
And
always got a martini or like some kind of thing to establish that he has
an alcohol problem, right? And the way they pretty much do it, because I mean, I just did the video for it, and I even kind of explained it, is he didn't tinker with it to hurt the Hulk, but
No.
when Bruce Banner sees drunk Tony Hulk tinkering with the bomb,
Drunk
he
Tony
assumes-
Hulk. Tony
Yeah, you know
Hulk.
what I mean. Tony
Tony
Hulk.
Smash.
But he assumes that Tony Stark made the bomb do what it did.
Yep.
And that's I mean, without spoiling my own video, that's kind of how it resolves.
Well,
And
you
then
know what?
we
You
back.
spoiled my Punisher thing, so I'm going to spoil your video. And that's pretty much
Yours
how it
was a
happened.
surprise. Mine's out. You don't watch it.
I mean, the way they explained it in terms of like his involvement, I thought that was cool. You know, like
Yeah.
that he was involved with it, and that was interesting. But the problem, hold on.
Okay, yeah,
Gumby
sorry.
Garcia says that if I narrated porn, I'd make billions of dollars. People are apparently talking about how sexy my voice is. I didn't realize it was that great.
Like,
But
so
You
here's
should. Dude, just do me a
You
favor.
be
Do me a
like-
favor. Just be like, hello, ma'am. I'm here with the pizza you need, and it's got extra sausage. Say it.
don't do it.
Dance,
Do
monkey,
it.
dance.
All right, hold on. It's
Somebody
so funny.
record this. We're gonna do sound bite.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Hold on. I can't stop laughing. All right.
Hold on,
All
I'm
right.
sound biting this.
All right. All right. What is it you want me to say?
Okay, you gotta say, hello, ma'am. I'm here with your pizza, and it has extra sausage. You gotta do the proper pause there.
Yeah, you gotta really give the cadence.
Okay, hold on. This is ridiculous. Hello, ma'am. I brought your pizza, and it has extra sausage.
Get inside.
Oh my god!
Where is
All
this
right.
going? What have we done?
My
The
plumbing
weekly
needs
pull
to
podcast
be
after hours? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
anyway,
this is
it's
this
just
is
go
going
with
to
what
be
you were-
an.
Yeah.
to go with what you were
CWP
saying
after.
before. Let me get back on topic here.
Let's get back
I
on
think
topic.
it was less out of character for Tony Stark to not want to mention that he tinkered with the bomb while drunk.
Yeah.
And more out of character for Bruce Banner to immediately go to, I'm going to come up with hyper-intelligent Hulk and go crush Tony and not even ask him about this.
That was silly to me, especially when they talked about how like the Incredible Hulk was smart now. Like, so the Incredible Hulk's smart now, thanks to like extremists, more or less.
Well, but like he was
And so-
smart in the '90s too. Like he's
Yeah,
whatever.
but the way they're playing it off now is like there's a particular point in the story where they're out in the desert, like after he like crushes Iron Man's suit and wraps it around him, which
Yeah.
is pretty awesome. but like
He's just like, you aren't going nowhere.
yeah, like Tony Stark's just like
Fine.
sitting there held down by a suit, and he tells him like let me just get to a less angry state, and he calms down and he becomes Bruce Banner. So like I don't know if maybe this means he can control himself now, like the Hulk can control when he changes, which I hope is not the case because that's
No,
like
he
a
can't.
staple.
It's proven by the end because Bruce Banner has to go get help.
That's
because
right.
Bruce Banner can't
Yeah.
turn back.
He just can't turn back.
to get
Okay.
Tony Hulk out of it.
I was like, that's one of the things that makes She-Hulk unique, and I really hope they don't take that away. But
But
nonetheless,
I think that was more on a character because, okay, Sal, you turn into a green hulking monster and you find out that I may have had an involvement in it. Your first answer is kill me? You don't even want to just chat on the phone. Hey,
Right.
I had this weird flash that you may have
Right.
turned me into the Hulk.
Well,
I just want
he
to know
also-
the truth behind that.
Yeah, but if I knew you were a big fat liar, like Tony Stark is, I might be more inclined to like beat the information out of you. Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm.
He was baiting the information out of him. I mean, Banner even says, I thought you'd be dead when I turned back. Like, there
That's-
was no
that's
word to
dumb.
beat it out
Yeah,
of you.
that's-
We were
I
going
mean,
to-
like, he is a giant rage monster, so I mean, like, maybe he wasn't really thinking clearly. Like, maybe the Hulk was kind of like helping him develop this revenge plot. I don't know.
I mean, there were some cool points
Pretty
too.
weak.
Like there was one point where Iron Man was fighting Hulk, and I think when he put on his Hulkbuster armor, and he was saying something to the effect of like there's got to be a limit to his strength or something like that, and the Hulk shows up and he says always the optimist, Tony, and then he just like smashes his Hulkbuster armor.
yeah.
He says, "Oh goody, another suit of armor for me to smash."
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, yeah.
I
He just like
consider put that
crushes
handle
his
in the video.
Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah, I mean, he destroyed like that was he, and we know that he's going to do it because like in World War Hulk, Iron Man had that awesome Hulkbuster armor
Yeah.
that he smashes immediately. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, even in that story, and I actually glazed over this part because it was more of just the fist punching and everything. But Tony Stark used a whole city against the Hulk in that book series.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
The city, I guess what it's called, Iron Metropolis or something like
Yeah.
that.
The
He
city that
got
he
everyone
created.
out of there and used every weapon on the Hulk, and the Hulk was just like, whatever.
Yeah, like nothing happened. And I mean, there were some cool moments, but at the end of it all, like that's the question that I ask when I read a tie-in, when I read something like Hulk versus Iron Man. At the end of it all, what did we learn? Like, what's the grand poobah? What's the big thing here? Well, all we learn is that Tony Stark was still an alcoholic. That Tony Stark had basically contributed to Bruce Banner becoming the Incredible Hulk by not telling him, or by Bruce Banner not reading the email saying, well, you know, this gamma radiation is probably going to turn you into something, but we don't really know what it is.
yeah.
I think it has less to do with. I think more of the purpose of the story is this is the reason why Banner decided to risk Extremis and become Intelligent Hulk, and this is going to lead to Intelligent Hulk storylines. That's what I think. I think that's what we're going to get out of this.
I hope not. I mean, I don't want to see Savage Hulk anymore. I mean, Savage Hulk is cool, but after a while, it gets boring seeing a Hulk just like smash stuff up.
Yeah.
There's really, I mean, that's one of the biggest problems people had with the Hulk. But the other side of this is, are they going to take it back to the 1998 or something like that, like super smart geneticist Hulk? I mean, are they going to take?
I think that's where we're going with this right now, because he has the intelligence of Banner and the strength of Hulk again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this because the Hulk's all right, but I mean,
They got to give him something, because out of all of the big superheroes that Marvel has, and the Hulk's probably one of the biggest ones they have, the Hulk has the least amount of story you can go with. You can give Tony Stark more villains that'll make it worth it. You can give him a plot that enough Iron Man fans will read. You can give Thor a plot involving going to the 10th realm. You can make Captain America young again. What do you do with the Hulk? He turns big and green and smashes everything.
Right.
But that's the problem that you have with a character like Hulk. When you sit down and you say, okay, here's a character who's massive in size. There's no limit to how strong he can get.
That's why he's a great support character. He's a horrible main character.
Yeah,
I've
like-
read the Hulk stories. It's
Exactly.
But
Like,
when
yeah,
he's
what
in
do you do
Avengers
with that?
versus X-Men or he's in Age of Ultron, it's incredible. Oh, the Hulk's the big gun. Bring him out. You know.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
where do you go? I mean, yeah, what could you really do in terms of a story involving the Incredible Hulk? Like okay, here's an idea. Name me a foe that the Incredible Hulk could go against consistently, and that would still make an interesting story.
The best one, and they can't
You
even
really
go
can't.
back there anymore. No, the best one they did was when they reversed it, and Banner went criminally insane, and the Hulk was the primary personality. And then when the Hulk calmed down, he would black out into a criminally insane Banner, and Banner was setting up the Hulk to try and kill him.
Yeah, but you're talking about a reversal of the status quo. Like, you're talking about a reversal of
Right.
what they do now.
That-
Even
that
then,
was
like,
probably-
like Banner's the one that's going out and committing crimes and fighting.
Yeah.
Like, people are fighting Banner. They're not really fighting the Hulk.
No, it was the Hulk fighting himself. Banner acted like himself, but when no one realizes that he went insane, it was trying to kill the Hulk.
Yeah.
So what would happen is Banner would position the Hulk in locations to get what he wanted, and in the end, it turned out Banner was trying to cure himself of the Hulk, and therefore kill the Hulk.
Yeah.
And so what he was doing was he would stage situations like the Hulk would turn back into the Hulk, and he would be in Atlantis and trying to fight against Namor and all them to work out some deal that Banner had worked out. Then he would go unconscious again, wake up in space, fighting Russian space bears, trying to get some kind of like cosmic cube thing. He would, and that was probably the most interesting Hulk story I've read in the last couple of years.
Yeah, but so that's the problem that you run into is you have like these single issue or little maybe like limited issues or even like World War Hulk where you have a series where he just comes back to Earth after being, you know, exiled and then just starts tearing stuff up. But
World
the
War
fact
Hulk is
is-
a good story too. Yeah.
It was, but the problem that you have here is there's no character that you can name me that the Hulk can fight consistently day in and day out, or that can be involved in an ongoing storyline that would be interesting.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It doesn't.
I've never.
because-
I mean, like, I've never been able to be convinced that the Hulk can be an interesting character, like consistent.
That's why his movies suck. I mean, as
Yeah.
much as I like his movies, they suck at the same time because he doesn't have any interesting villains to go up against. There's no.
Well, and
real
also, like,
story.
his main goal is to cure himself of the thing that makes him interesting. Like,
Right.
I don't want the Hulk to succeed in his goal, but I need to be able to be interested in him succeeding in his goal. Like, I have to believe he can do it, but I know they won't because they have to sell Hulk books. So like all the tension is destroyed.
Yeah. That's why he's a great support character. Hard
Yeah,
moving.
that's why he's a great Avenger.
He is.
Like,
He is. He's a great guy that only needs to show up when there's something going on and they just need his help for something.
It's like everybody's wondering why we don't have another Hulk movie again. And the reason is the first two did shitty because it's hard to tell a story about the Hulk.
I mean, they're going to do it. They're giving Mark Ruffalo his own.
They're
own
talking.
movie,
They're talking about like a Planet Hulk type movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have to do something like that. There's so few stories to work with.
Yeah,
they really are. I mean,
I would see a cool Planet Hulk movie. Like
that would be cool. I mean, that's the problem that you run into is, I mean, you're talking about the Incredible Hulk that has just such unfathomable strength. Like the only people that can really go toe to toe with him are like godly, powerful characters. So like Thor or Odin or something like that. I mean,
Starlin's writing a Thanos versus Hulk book.
Yes, I heard about that. I am actually really excited because that's the first time actually since Infinity Gauntlet, I think, that Hulk and Thanos will ever go toe to toe.
Yeah,
and in fact, it was actually Hulk and Drax the Destroyer that went toe to toe with Thanos.
Yeah, and it was woefully underpowered. Like Hulk was nowhere near the level that he is considered to be now.
Yeah, no, not at all. So I'm actually really excited because there was actually a point in the Thanos quest when I was going over that where he was fighting the Champion. And when he was analyzing the powers of Champion, he was talking about how the powers of Champion were similar to the Hulk, and he mentioned how he's always tried to avoid fighting the Hulk just because he's so incredibly strong.
Yeah,
dude,
that's cool.
I got to tell you, man, like Jim Starlin, when Benny made his video where he was talking to Jason and they were talking about the Thanos Revelation, is that what it was?
Yeah, I think Thanos Revelation.
Yeah.
The book
Infinity
he promoted like crazy in the last one.
Dude, that book was so good.
I've got it downloaded. I gotta read it.
Dude, it's so good. Like it brings us back Adam Warlock, which with Adam Warlock comes the Magus, and I don't even know if they're even gonna do like Goddess.
They're just setting up more Guardian stuff, aren't they?
Pretty much. That's all they're doing. They're building on top of the idea that people are like, oh, Adam Warlock in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and so Marvel's like, okay, let's bring him back. Which is high time they did it anyway.
Well, apparently, like that book was controversial in its own right because Starlin wanted to write his own story with Adam Warlock. And Marvel's like, no more Adam Warlock. We have no plans for him. We don't want to bring him back. And Starlin and Marvel had like a big problem with each other. And then finally Marvel's like, after Guardians of the Galaxy did well, Marvel's like, all right, fine. And so like they released or at least made Infinity Revelation. Like that book is like, Marvel had some opposition because they're like, we have plans for Thanos. Like I think that Starlin wanted to write that back when Infinity was being conjured. So like... You know, Starlin's like, I want to tell a cool story about Thanos and Adam Warlock and blah, blah, blah. And, like, they were like, no, we're not doing that shit anymore. Like, we're doing Infinity stuff. Like, where Thanos is, like, this, I don't know, where he's, like, a main antagonist and he's, like, much less complicated or cosmic. It's much more about him being, like, a world destroyer. Like, all right. And then they just let him do whatever he wanted to do anyway. And
that makes sense.
This is an interesting comment. Lord Kibagami. He says the only Hulk movie I want to see is to tie up the loose ends with Abomination and Leader.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I wouldn't mind that. Like they could set up a good story with that.
Yeah,
they could, man. But honestly, if they came out with a movie and they said, "Here's what happens to Abomination afterwards," and here's what happens to the Leader, like, I probably wouldn't go see it.
Okay, imagine this though. I know the second movie might be a filler movie, but Marvel's done that plenty of times with their sequel movies, Iron Man 2. And what was another? Like Thor 2 was kind of a filler movie.
Kind of
like
stepping stone.
So like, imagine Hulk goes from movie 1 to Avengers to the Abomination and Leader like versus movie, where that fight destroys like an entire city. And then that gives the Avengers, or like the Illuminati, or however they set it up, a reason to send Hulk off for the third movie, since they're doing a lot of trilogies, and do the Planet Hulk, World War Hulk movie.
I don't know. I mean, see, the other thing you got to bear in mind too is Marvel's kicking these ideas around, but Marvel's looking towards like this single finite point, which is like the Infinity Gauntlet storyline.
Oh yeah.
What they do after that, I don't know. But
we're all
leading
assuming,
up to that.
for the record, I don't think I've seen anything definitively state the Infinity Gauntlet.
You've got Thanos gathering the Infinity Gems.
For all you know, that movie's going to open with Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet. Hulk's going to walk over, take the gauntlet, put it on, become super powerful, make Planet Hulk, punch the world. Madcap is going to show up in everyone's head, and you're going to have to do a video on
I'm not doing a video on Madcap.
But people like when we speculate.
Yeah.
If that comes true, Marvel owes me money.
But no, I mean,
Do
that
backup.
seems to be the direction they're moving over towards. And so it seems to me that if they were to do something like that, but I mean, I don't know. But see, like Guardians of the Galaxy was long after Infinity Gauntlet, and they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy. So I have no real idea what Marvel's Grand Poobah Ultimate Picture is, but
No, I have no idea.
I've also watched a couple other YouTube videos where they set up the idea of, since everybody's contracts seem to be wrapping up, that they're going to go and say, all right, this is the Avengers trilogy. Now we've got the new Avengers trilogy.
Right.
And they're going to kind of like lightly set that up with some of this side stuff with the Netflix series and Agent Carter and all this kind of stuff that's setting up in the periphery. And then they're going to come in and they're going to reboot and they're going to find a new cast with different characters that are still going to be entertaining and still going to be able to, hit with the big boys.
Yeah.
And then maybe like during those movies they can just reference the other Avengers. Like,
Yeah. I mean, they did it.
I have no idea what they're doing.
They did a really cool in what's it called, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They did a really badass episode where Kang the Conqueror wipes out the current roster of the Avengers, like Thor, Iron Man, Cap, Wasp. Everybody disappears, and they I think he puts them in time or in a different dimension or some crap. But according to Jarvis's scanners, they're hang on a minute. According to Jarvis's scanners, the Avengers are dead. And so Stark's new Avengers protocol gets enacted, and Wolverine, Spider-Man, The Thing, War Machine, and a couple other and Luke Cage and Iron Fist get called, and they are, and Stark's hologram shows up, and he's like, so I called you because you've shown me at some point or another that you're badasses, and so you're the Avengers now. Go to the tower and grab your shit, and because something's probably gonna destroy the world, and you have to go fight it. And they team up, and it's really cool.
A really good episode. Yeah.
It's a great episode, and they could easily do that if they were we don't, because then was Avengers 3 is what 2019, so by then, Sony will have ruined the Spider-Man brand, so Marvel will have it back. Well, because because they haven't
ruined already.
Because Sony hasn't released a Sinister Six movie yet, but after they do and it fails, and after they release Spider-Man 3 in 2019,
and all the TV
and the Black
series,
Cat movie, and the Aunt May movie, and the J. Jonah Jameson movie.
Wait, what? Did they really announce an Aunt May movie?
I'm just saying, they
no.
want
an Aunt May movie. I would love to see Sally Field just running around and worrying about Peter Parker just pacing back and forth.
She's just going for her errands. The big thing that she has to do is go to the DMV for the whole movie.
Stressing over final notices on her bills and stuff.
I mean,
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
She's gonna save the orphanage.
Wouldn't it be terrific to just mine that rich, deep well of Spider-Man characters, like the Prowler and Black Cat and Rocket Racer? You could have them all come out, and you could create a spider team. Go screw yourselves. So when that fails and they finally get it back, they could theoretically do that. Maybe. I mean, the reality is, Robert Downey Jr. has been on the fence forever, so, sometimes he's well, I'm done, which is why Iron Man 3 ends with, that.
Yeah.
But it's also, but he's also said, maybe I might want to do an Iron Man 4, and maybe I might want to stick around, but, in 5 years, probably not.
I think what Robert Downey Jr. has going on, and he's kind of conflicted because he has, with these big budget movies, a lot of time invested in researching how to act and really getting into the script, and then being on set forever, and all this AAA big budget title stuff. He has less time to do indie movies and stuff he likes to do, because he loves to do independent movies where he doesn't get paid as much, but they're a lot easier to do.
The Judge is supposed to be an indie film, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
What is it?
The Judge?
The Judge, the new one with him and Robert Duvall.
I don't think he wants to by any means ruin what Marvel has going on. I don't think
he restarted his career. I don't think he wants to screw that over, but at the same time he wants to move on.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to be typecast. I mean, Mark Hamill is forever going to be known as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Harry Potter kid is forever going to be known
And
as
the
Harry
Joker.
Potter.
He managed to break out into the Joker.
Oh, God, dude,
Also
he's the
Joker.
best Joker. He was the best Joker
Yeah.
ever.
Agreed.
That's
Okay, because we've hit like 1,001 tangents, and this is not an episode of tangents located on TV Little House all during the week. And if you want to watch tangents and crazy stuff, go check out TV Little House. But anyway, I was just gonna move us over to all new X-Men. I have no idea what you want to talk about.
Oh
with
yeah.
Yeah.
So the all new X-Men were
Miles Morales.
that. Is that what we're talking about? Because I haven't read it. Right here.
the all new
understand it.
X-Men run into a mutant who can send people to the Ultimate Universe,
Yeah.
and so the all new
Yeah.
X-Men, aka the X-Men from the past, who might also be from an alternate reality, get sent to the Ultimate Universe. So you've got like Young Beast, Young Angel, Young Jean Grey, and X-23. And they go to the Ultimate Universe, and it looks like they're trapped there. And in typical Bendis Ultimate style, it is like 2 minutes of dialogue, and it'll come out like 3 months later than it should.
You know
Like,
what the
But
Ultimate Universe
it's
has
out
become?
right now.
The Spider-Man story, and it's
Yeah.
great. Ultimate Universe has been and always will be
It's
just a Spider-Man.
right here.
No, you know what? Okay, you know what the Ultimate Universe is? The Ultimate Universe is that episode of the Twilight Zone called "It's a Wonderful Life," I think, or something like that, where that kid, like, just keeps sending people to the cornfields whenever they do stuff he doesn't like. Like, he
you
sends
mean,
the dog to
they
the cornfields.
Relegated Galactus to the Ultimate
Yeah,
Universe.
like go to the cornfields.
Go to the Ultimate Universe. Watch out, or
Yes.
Jeff
Yeah.
Loeb will kill you.
This is Jean Grey getting the entire Miles Morales storyline in one go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean,
It-
it's cool, but what I was hoping, this is what I was really hoping with, because Miles Morales has actually grown on me a little bit.
yeah. I will say, like,
I want them to
avoided
bring
it.
him into the 616.
That's what I'm
That's what I-
saying. That's exactly what
His
I'm
team
saying.
ups in Spider-Man was great.
He doesn't need to be Spider-Man. He could be like some spin-off of Spider-Man or something.
There's
But
so many. They've got the Kane is still Spider-Man. You've got 2099 who's in the current universe. You've got regular Spider-Man. And like all that other garbage from Spider-Verse. But like, yeah, like it'll be neat to like. Jeff Loeb is so totally effed the Ultimate X-Men that you might as well just take young X-Men from the 616 and send them over to the Ultimate Universe and see how they deal with it, because why not, right?
I mean, it can't be any worse.
Yeah, and they've
heck
also
with
they have that awful Wolverine son character that they introduced.
Dakin?
Who?
No.
I don't know anything with the Ultimate Universe. Regardless
No, I
of how
mean
many
the
times
Ultimate
people ask me to
Universe.
do
There's
it.
a guy whose name is like, I think his name's James too, but he's like
Oh,
this
okay.
broody, annoying character. You can kill him, and then you could just make X-23 the Wolverine of the Ultimate Universe, and it would that'd be fine. Hell, you could make X-23 the Wolverine of the 616 universe, and I'd be happy with
She's
that.
with them, isn't she?
Yeah.
She
She's
is.
in
She's
her
stuck
the
in
Ultimate
the
Universe
Ultimate
too.
Yeah.
Well, that was a funny thing because people were getting like really psyched up, like when like Fox came out and Fox said, "Well, we're bringing Cable into the Fox universe," and people were like, "Yeah, we get to see Cable," and they're like, "But it's the Ultimate Universe Cable," and they're like, "That's Wolverine." Like,
Yeah, that's just Wolverine from the future, you jerks. That's not Cable at all.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's Ultimate Cable, and Ultimate Cable's just even cooler because it's Wolverine, and Wolverine is super cool.
yeah.
Is he really? Wait, I don't know nothing about the Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Cable is just Wolverine.
Yeah.
From the future, yeah.
From the future, yeah. Okay,
Why?
the way the Ultimate Universe is done, it's so incredibly stupid. Wolverine is like the first mutant, I think, and he's the catalyst for all the other mutants. And then like Nick Fury was the super soldier, like he was like Captain America, I think, in the Ultimate
Yeah.
Universe. And so it's something to do with like their blood being spliced. I don't know, like it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's
It's yeah.
all right. This
All
is
I'm
something- this is-
hearing from you guys is that Wolverine's gonna come back in the comics and he's gonna create a bunch of Inhumans.
man, you know what?
That's your theory.
I wouldn't doubt that, the way that people are doing stuff. But okay, so Curtis Blowfield said something I didn't even remember, like I didn't even realize. He said that Drax introduced himself as the one above all at the beginning, at the bar scene of Guardians of the Galaxy,
What?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
which is cool.
Yeah.
So the question is he going to be the Fulcrum? Like, who's the
Ah.
Fulcrum? Like the Fulcrum
Nobody.
was a cool character, man. He was the.
They're not gonna
super
do that in the
powerful
movie.
Wait, what? What
Not
are you
gonna
talking
do it.
about? Like it's an extended scene?
No, he just says it.
character. No,
Like,
at the bar.
yeah.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he says like I'm the one above all or something like that. I don't know
Oh.
if that's true or not. He could just be trolling me, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Right, well done.
Like, don't you or I ever say, "I am a god"?
No, but
Like-
the choice of phrasing is what's unique here. Like the
Yeah,
one
just,
above
it's just a
all.
cute throwback.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I don't think that like the one above all is going to show up. Like I don't.
nor do I
that-
think that Drax is the one
Yeah,
of
I
all.
don't.
Yeah.
It could be. He could be.
He's merely just
Yeah.
observing and pretending. He's just blending in.
Because
Yeah,
we're gonna find out that this Drax is the one above all, and then the other Drax with the cape and the cowl thing's gonna show up.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that would be cool. I
the
used to be
Oh,
Arthur
so
Douglas.
stupid.
real one will
Drax
show up.
is so
I used to be
lame.
Arthur Douglas. That guy's the one above all.
He could fix all this, but you know what? He's got stuff to do, so whatever.
He's got stuff to do.
He's really sad.
But no, that's one of the things I don't like about the direction Marvel's going with the whole Ultimate Universe. It seems like Marvel says, well, this isn't selling too well, so we'll just throw it over to the Marvel Universe. And the Marvel Universe is like this closet that people just throw their stuff into, and then shut the door, and then just
How did they?
you know, they just keep
didn't
adding
they
to it
end
over and
the
over
Ultimate
again.
Universe. I thought that was the whole Cataclysm thing. Like it was over finally.
No,
No, it's not.
No, it's there. I mean,
They
you
just
had
kept
like
telling you that
Ultimatum.
it's
They
gonna
just
be.
kept adding stuff to it.
Another offshoot about the cinematic universe, and it is relevant because it's more about the comics, but isn't it because characters in the comics are related to like the X-Men or the Fantastic Four or Spider-Man that they can't be used at Marvel? So like I'm just thinking there's got to be some like loophole in the phrasing of the contract that Marvel, if they put stuff from the cinematic universe into the comics, they can use it.
Well, no, I know that
Like-
Disney owns the Ultimate Universe because that's what they're playing all of these TV shows off of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
So
Which is
I'm
funny
confused
I don't
about
know
because
if
the
there's
movie
any
the
legitimacy.
movies are highly based in the Ultimate Universe, but they're
Yes.
trying to make the 616 basically become the movie universe
yeah.
by making it the Ultimate Universe, which isn't selling.
No.
But that's why you see a lot
but
of
it's
like.
but it has shorter. It has a smaller.
Yeah.
It has a shorter history, and it's easier to explain. So like you know.
I mean, I don't know about easier to explain, but it has a shorter universe.
Yeah, well, that's
the
the
Ultimate
thing.
Universe
There's
is
just
a pain
less
in the
stuff
ass
to
to
explain.
Well,
All right,
that's
fair.
what's going on with New 52. Everyone's thinking that they're going to bring back the original DC universe. New 52 is going to become their Ultimate Universe.
I would
Yeah.
I would pick that up. If they did
Yeah.
that, I would get back into DC. I didn't realize how much I missed post-crisis, pre-New 52 everything until it was gone.
I think a lot of
Hopefully-
people are like that.
Hopefully
I think
they
DC
still
editorial
undo-
is like that.
They're like, man, it was so good back in the day.
Remember when Grant Morrison was ruining Remember when we put Grant Morrison in charge of everything and he made it all meta?
Okay, real quick side story, because this is funny as crap. So my comic store under-ordered Multiversity 2. Because
That's what they
it
do.
took-
They do that a lot.
No,
and that's
no.
why.
Because they didn't know that this was Multiversity 2. They thought it was an offshoot, so he didn't order it.
It looks like it.
Oh,
Wow.
You know what's funny? Actually, you're hitting on an interesting point because that actually is something that retailers will do. It's why like Walking Dead 2 is more valuable than Walking Dead 1. They order retailers order a whole bunch of number ones, but then like after that speculation dips off, they don't order a whole bunch of number twos, which is why those are actually more rare than number ones sometimes.
Yeah.
So you'll find that retailers will actually it doesn't. I'm boring. Never mind. Anyways, comics, everybody.
Comic books! All right.
Comics guys.
So, since we've discussed what's going on with all new X-Men and everything, let's go to the last topic we had for today, Rob. New York Comic Con.
Yes.
The weekly
Yeah.
guys are all going.
Yes,
and
we
Rob
are.
is giving away 500 T-shirts that all say Comic Story.
That all say comic historian on them.
That all say Comic Story and it's better than Marvel Explained. All you need to do is go up to Rob, slap him, and be like Comic Story.
Be like comic historian.
stop making half an hour long videos.
12 minutes is great.
Oh man, but yes. So we're gonna be at Comic Con. We're getting there Thursday, right?
Thursday, we'll be
Everybody's
going there for
getting
the
there Thursday?
pre-show. We're all going to be filming a bunch of stuff on set. We're going to do a back issues with Sal. Forget Ethan and Ben. You got us.
They'll be there too, but
Aw.
no, we're doing.
I'm pretty excited to meet Ethan and Ben.
Yeah, me too.
I
I'm
think
excited for them
what-
to meet you guys. It's
Oh,
gonna
I
be-
thought you were excited to
them.
meet them. I'm like, you know them, right?
I'm excited to meet them too. It's all CG.
Actually, you don't know them at all. They just show up.
They're not
every
even real.
night to record.
Yeah.
They're holograms.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to say is that we will be there. We're kind of arranging some kind of a meetup time, location, and everything. We don't know what we're going to do. We'll be walking around with T-shirts. I know Rob and I are making some up to give out if you can find us.
Yep.
Business cards. We'll sign crap, whatever you want to do. We'll shake hands. If you stalk us, stalk Dave. He wants some stalkers. It's fine.
That's true.
I mean, I don't
got
really even
to
know
do,
if like anybody's gonna show up to
And
meet us because I don't know if we're that popular that people.
Oh, we're
are, like,
huge. We're huge. The entire world knows who we are.
Let me tell you something right now. We had people at the TV Little House booth at the Garden State Comic Fest. People came to our booth who watched the show. People came to our panel.
Yep.
All right,
And
well,
Eligible Monster, which is like a third of the size of Comic Storian now, the original channel that I started with, we would say we're going to conventions and people would meet up with us. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
all right, well, I mean,
TV
that's
Little
cool.
House will have business cards, and we're gonna have like those postcards. Which, if you watch the newest episode of the newest pre-show of Back Issues, where we talk about
I
quotes.
want one of those.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a whole bunch of them when you get here.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah, we're gonna be-
we'll have those.
Walking around, meeting and greeting. We're going to be talking to people. I guess they're trying to arrange. You guys are trying to arrange some kind of like live weekly poll situation that I'm supposed to bring equipment for.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean,
from
it's-
New York Comic Con.
I think
Yeah,
we
like-
should do. If we do, I think we should do. We should do a like Thursday or a Friday like wrap up, like not a wrap up episode, but like a Friday reactions where we just sit down, we do the live stream, we just hit the mics. We don't have to do video necessarily, but we just hit the mics and we just do a live thing where we talk about reactions to the show, what we hope to do next time. You know, what do you want to see us do if we haven't done it yet? You know, that kind of thing.
I mean, this is my first Comic-Con that I'm ever going to. So,
man.
like, yeah,
It's a good one to
I'll
go
be
to.
like, yeah,
Let me tell you
like,
something.
if anybody's coming to Comic-Con for the very first time, like, if any of you guys watching this are going to New York Comic-Con for the very first time, like, come see me, because we're going to have so much fun.
Oh yeah, we all are. This is my second New York Comic Con, so I at least have a little better understanding what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Here.
I'm so excited to
The New York Comic Con was the first Comic Con I'd ever been to in 2005. So
Wow.
this will be my 9th New York Comic Con.
Real
And-
quick, Mr. Hokiji, I went to Denver Comic Con this year, and I'm going to
Nice.
drag these three boneheads to it next year.
go. Awesome. I'm down with that.
What he really needs
I
to
don't
do
know-
is
I don't
drag
know,
us
is
to
it-
he needs to drag us to friggin' San Diego and
San Diego. Yeah,
Going
we need to go to San Diego.
too. We've
Comic-Con.
got supposedly tickets being given to us to go to San Diego.
Yeah,
That
man.
would be great.
If we make it to San Diego Comic-Con, like, that would be so beast.
Well, we're going
I
to
would
New York
use that
right
word
now.
to
We're
describe.
going to New York.
We're going to New York. The one after that will probably be Denver, then San Diego. But we're doing New York right now. We'll be there next month. Walking around. We're getting T-shirts made up. We're hoping they'll be done in time. Like that's tentative because we got to make sure we can get it done.
Yeah,
I will
like, how
not.
long does it usually? Because I've never had T-shirts made before.
You can
like,
get them expedited, but if you can find me, my goal is to have at least 10 to give out to the first 10 people who find me. Comic Storian, much better than the other guys in the podcast.
All right, well,
And
I'll make
that's
up
what
like.
my shirts will say. I like Comic Storian. F the other guys. Weekly poll.
And you know what you should do? You should just tweet them out and just do hashtag the weekly poll and just tweet out I like and then insert the channel that you like the most. No,
That'd be the that's I like that idea.
I don't like that idea.
I like that idea.
I don't want like
Do you really want to compete with me and Robson?
I don't
Like
I
outright
really-
competition?
I'm actually more concerned about competing with comics reviews. It's just I know that it's a dark horse.
I
And it's like,
mean,
I think
you know.
I think Rob might actually kill himself if like comics reviews got like an overwhelming.
we should do that. Like have,
Yeah,
have like a
like,
poll and
all of a
like Dave gets like
sudden,
90%
I
of the
just
votes.
get 15,000 subscribers
Yeah,
in one night.
I just want to shake your hand, Dave. You're the most amazing guy ever. Who's Rob?
Yeah, we almost like we,
I did actually look. Some of my videos are like the second or third results if I search for like Civil War,
nice.
like Marvel, and in like
Awesome.
my Long Halloween is like the 6th, I think, up on the list
Nice.
for Long Halloween reviews. So, like,
Yeah.
I am slowly getting there.
Well, I thought you were, I don't actually mean to interrupt you that time.
That's
Just every other time.
Just every other time was legit. Now, Mr. Hokiji, we record the Grand Slam in Loveland, Colorado every Sunday. If you look up Grand Slam in Loveland, you'll find it.
Yep.
I go there every Sunday at noon to record.
But yeah, so we'll be roaming around there and hanging out and chilling and talking to you guys and
Yeah.
like I'll be looking for stuff and I've got something really planned for all you people out there who are graphic designers. So yeah, like I'm pretty psyched
I'm trying
for
to find a local bar nearby and or burger joint that we can all kind of meet up with after the show's over.
that
and-
would be cool.
Oh, there's an ass load. No problem. It'll
I was
depend on-
actually following this out. I was about to give you the mission of finding a place nearby.
no problem. I have a couple of friends who actually live there, so that'll be not hard to do.
Oh, okay. That'll be good enough.
Live there in Manhattan.
One of two things will happen. Everyone will show up and we'll have a great time, or no one shows up and we all get burgers and beer.
I'm down with that, man. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for us.
Win-win,
Exactly.
yeah.
No matter
Yeah.
what.
But,
I was gonna say what as far as like coverage and video content is concerned, I'm kind of curious to see what people would want to see us do / make.
yeah, tell us what you guys want to see.
Because I would love to do like here's something I would love to do. I'd love to do a weekly poll like at someone's booth, like with anyone who's gonna be there. Like we could reach out to any of these creators beforehand and be like, hey man, like you wanna sit in with us and do like shorts, like short weekly polls, like 15-minute
thing
weekly
that
polls
we're
with
trying
such
to-
and such.
And then I've been bringing it up to these guys. This is the first they're really fully hearing about it. But I have a Twitch channel, and I can stream from my iPad directly to the Twitch channel.
Nice.
So if we can arrange for it, we'll be streaming from the show floor off and on throughout the day on the Twitch channel. So,
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
yeah. And then we'll just take all that and put it together as one big video at the end of the whole thing. But
Sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think no matter what happens, like we're all gonna have a blast.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think it's
It's-
gonna be
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
amazing. But yeah, we're all flying. Like I think I'm getting into New Jersey at like 11:30 a.m. somewhere around there.
so if you
And,
want to meet us at the New Jersey airport,
yeah, if you want to meet us at New Jersey
you
airport,
can
just,
give us a lift to the con. That'd be great. 'Cause we're still trying to figure that out.
that would be
Yeah,
pretty
it's
awesome if
true.
you guys just give us a lift to Comic-Con. That'd be because otherwise we're just gonna catch.
We don't want to walk, and Sal's doing some kind of weird T-train thing that we don't want to trust.
Yeah, I work.
he's got to be an adult and pay bills.
I can't
and
take
stuff.
2 sick days in a row, Thursday and Friday. So I'm like, like,
That's all.
but you guys have directions now. You just
Yeah,
take
we
the
know
air
that.
train to the
We know
That's
that.
air
the
train
thing.
in New Jersey
We should
Transit,
arrange
New Jersey
for a
Transit to
limo
Penn
to pick
Station.
up- we need a limo to pick up comics reviews. He is so big. We need a limo, and then me and Rob
massive.
will just tag along. On
Yeah,
his
Yeah,
limo.
we'll
Run-
ride our bikes behind him.
Yeah. You should
But
check it out.
yeah, so what all does everybody have going on this week?
This week.
I'm being lazy.
You're playing Destiny. You've been playing Destiny for like the
playing
last
Destiny.
week and a half
Okay.
straight.
All right, so I got super sick last week. I really did get super sick, which was really like okay. I got sick Monday night. Tuesday morning, I had Destiny. I'm like, this is perfect. So I just took the week off and played Destiny. And so this week rolled around, and I'm still playing Destiny. And I'm like, okay, I need to do Annihilation, which is taking a lot of research, and Brightest Day, which is 25 freaking issues.
Yeah.
Or I can do the 3-issue Batman Battle for the Cowl, the 4-issue Original Sin tie-in, and play more Destiny.
Exactly.
Man.
I mean,
So next week you'll see Brightest Day and Annihilation probably. Oh, and I'm also doing Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Cool.
yeah.
What you
That's
got
fun
coming
story.
up, Sal?
This week, actually today, Back Issues did Avengers versus X-Men, and so that came out this week. We also, of course, have Off the Rack Monday through Wednesday. This week we did Death of Wolverine, Future's End, Detective Comics, and the Prometheus Fire and Stone #1, which was apparently part of like a 30 comic crossover with Aliens and Predator and Prometheus, and I'm like, oh, I just thought it was going to be a Prometheus book.
That sounds kind of cool though.
Yeah, it does, but I'm not buying 17 issues at $4 or $5 a pop. Especially not when like the art's like, eh. So Off the Rack Monday through Wednesday, Back Issues on Thursdays, and we had a whole bunch of stuff in between. Like we did a couple of tangents. We did a criticism video, which was fairly popular. Yeah,
That was funny.
so-
I actually enjoyed that
Yeah.
one.
thank you. Thank you.
I was like, wow, people are mean to you guys.
You know what's funny? Like, I will say this, and I like number one, I feel really bad because like people, like loyalists, were like, you know, so apparently all I need to do to get some attention from the guys over at TV Little House is give them a hard time, and I'm like, first of all, don't do that. Number two,
I'm
Like-
gonna do that. I'm gonna leave shitty comments.
great idea. I know who you are. Like, so But what we did, like, I had to work, like, actually Ethan pitched the idea. He's like, I really like that celebrities read mean tweets bit on Kimmel.
Yeah.
And it's such a great bit, but he's like, wouldn't it be cool if we did something like that? And I'm like, Ethan's pitching a show idea. Let's do it. So I had to dig deep to find like 8 negative comments. And I'm not saying like stretch yourselves, people, and really shit all over us, but I am saying like we have a really, really awesome community of like really, really positive people.
Yeah.
And so like that really blew my mind. Like I was actually dipping into comments that we had already commented on like weeks or months ago, and I'm like, oh, like I've run out of negative comments. Like that's really cool. So while the video seems to imply that like we are battling the negativity constantly, like it couldn't be further from the truth on a week by week basis. So
Yeah, I don't know. Like people leave funny comments. Like people they'll phrase it funny though. They'll say stuff like, "Look, I don't mean to be rude here, but
I love that
like,
stuff,
like
yeah.
your videos fucking suck." You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
what? Like I
Well,
mean, because do what?
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
Somebody wanted me to do God, who was it? Somebody wanted me to do some obscure character or something like that, and they want like they told me like they sent me a message on YouTube, and they were like, I want you to do like if you don't do this character like I'm gonna unsubscribe, and I'm like.
might as well.
Like, what did you think that? Like, what do you think was going to happen? Like, explain to me your thought process when you sent this message. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
how
one
did you
out of
expect this conversation to
20,000
go?
subscribers.
I don't
I mean,
understand.
Like,
Yeah.
send me a like I try to do all the characters you guys want me to do, but the other thing you got to remember is there's like hundreds of thousands of characters in Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
I
There's so
run into
many.
the same problem. I get requests like all the time. Do this obscure story. Do this obscure character. And then they get mad if I'm like it's like Annihilation. I've been talking about doing that for a month now. But I'm like, do you guys? I don't know if people think I do, but I actually sit here with the comic and I actually take apart the comic, put it into a chunky like size script, go through that script multiple times, cleaning it up so that these guys have been on the calls with me when I get stumped on some of them.
Oh yeah.
Then I take out every image and put it like this is not I'm just gonna do this for 30 minutes and then go play Destiny all day kind of thing. This is not a quick process.
No.
But I do
It's
want to
drawn out.
I do want to agree because Rob put out a video about 2 weeks ago about this and saying you are awesome. And I do want to say the community that is around our channels, that you guys, you really are all awesome. And I
Yeah.
will say this from a guy who has been doing a YouTube for like a year and a half, 2 years now. I have a main channel that most of you probably don't even know. It's based entirely around video games.
Yeah.
And about 1/3 of those comments are shitty. Your voice is horrible. I don't like what you did. You left out an obscure little minute fact that didn't freaking matter. My favorite is I did the Metal Gear Solid complete story videos, and someone got upset with me because I used footage from NES instead of the MSX. They're like, you are not a purist because you didn't use the proper footage in your background. And I'm like, it doesn't freaking matter. The game's being explained. What are you worried about? There's so many shitty people on YouTube and so many crappy
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
when I started this comic book channel, and before I met Rob and Sal, I expected it to be tore apart and just
Yeah.
nothing, and I was going to pretty much ignore everything. And I think for the most part, same thing with Rob and Sal and Dave, I almost never see a shitty comment.
Yeah, I usually never do.
really
Like, it's-
Never see a shitty comment. And while I can't respond to the sheer number of comments you guys leave on the videos, I do read every single one of them, and I know Rob does, and I know Sal does, and I know Dave does, and we really, really do appreciate you guys. Like,
Yeah. Oh.
you guys are amazing. I agree with Rob's video 100%. Everyone is awesome, and it's
Yeah.
because of you guys that this is even happening. Like, if this
Yeah.
was just shitty comments in general, I don't think that none of this would have gone the way it is. So,
Yeah, it's crazy how
And-
like it's because of all the fans. I think that this stuff is all blown up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
despite
It's
like
nuts,
my
man.
channel starting out with like a really crappy webcam and using the microphone from the webcam and like saying like 67 times in my
Oh,
first video.
and this is the
I've
this
only
is a
gotten
comic.
one dislike on all of my videos.
yeah,
Like
exactly. And, like, I mean, I don't. Rob and I have sat here and tried to figure it out. We don't know if it's because there's not a lot of comic channels, maybe, and I wasn't aware of that when I started. I thought I was going to be one of a billion, but I guess Rob knew what he was doing. I don't know if it's because of the way we do things between the four of us that we do. You guys really enjoy it. I don't know what it is, but I at least thank every single one of you guys for the support you're showing for these channels and us as a group, and it's just been incredible for the last couple of months. I'm sorry, I'm gushing. I'm just.
It's
Make
all
it
good,
easy.
man.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome.
I really never expected to have hundreds of subscribers this fast.
Yeah.
Like
Dude, I-
even
To
even
have my tens
all
of
you guys.
subscribers.
I know
Yeah.
people who've been doing YouTube for years, and they're like, "I got 200," and Dave's like, "I got
Yeah.
200," and I made up one video. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a video because I went from 200 to almost 300 so fast that I was like, this could be anywhere from 200 to 300 subscribers by the time.
oh, Ron
That I
stopped
posted,
making
so-
10,000 celebration videos because of how fast he's growing.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys. So apparently, I'm approaching 50,000 pretty fast. So faster than I thought I would. So for 50,000 subscribers, we're gonna do a live Q&A. Like I'm gonna live stream, like answering questions
steal my
that you
idea,
guys
why not?
have.
Great idea.
So
Just steal my idea, or the idea that I stole from Sal.
yeah.
I stole it from Sal. He did it first.
I mean, yeah, but I want to do like a live Q&A, so you guys can ask me anything about anything. Like it's an AMA, so ask me anything. Some stuff I won't answer, some stuff I will. It just kind of depends on the questions you ask. Like if you guys get on there and you ask me a question like have you ever killed flies? Like I'm probably not going to answer that question.
Well, and I've warned Rob about this because I did that, and the reason the video's not on there is I didn't like how it came out, because what it turned into was you guys asking a question every second, and it was just me being like, yes, I wear pants. Yes, those are my tattoos. I enjoy that comic book. I don't know what's going on in Marvel. I don't know what's happening in that video game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for 50K, I think a live Q&A would be pretty fun. Like I'm
That
pretty
would be
psyched
awesome.
about it.
Cool.
But yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, it's like it's like right now it's like 7:30 at night, and it's like 70 degrees outside. So it's too nice for me to stay inside for the rest of the night. So I'm gonna go over to the guys, go hang out with the guys, and watch some football and chill. And
Cool.
the Hulk versus Iron Man video will be up tomorrow. After that, we'll pick up with Original Sin, and we only have. We have like 5 more videos, I think, before we finish Original Sin, and then we'll move on to Infinity Gauntlet, because it's high time we did Infinity Gauntlet. My God, I'm so ready to do Infinity Gauntlet. I'm so excited.
Wait, hold on. You didn't tell me you were doing Hulk versus Iron Man tomorrow. I would have at least held my release off.
Well, the reason why I did it tomorrow is I was going to upload it today, and I was like, well, like people can just go and check out your whole thing, check out your video, and then I'll upload mine tomorrow. So. It'll give people time to like absorb what you told them, because like Benny's covering stuff that I'm not. Like I'm covering the origin story of the Incredible Hulk from 1962, and then what Original Sin gives us, and then like how that compares to what's going on in the comics and the cinematic universe. But like Benny will give you guys the relationship between Bruce Banner and Tony Stark, the way Original Sin explains it. So that's like you'll get more information. Like it's kind of a reverse. Like I'm just like skimming over a lot of this stuff.
Really?
And Benny's getting a little more in depth. Yeah, like you got a lot more in depth than I did, I think. But it was
That was a
interesting.
confusing story to tell. Like
It
I sat
was.
down with that one.
It
and I'm
was,
like,
man.
I sat down with that one. And I'm like, just real quick before we close out. I sat down with Original Sin, Hulk versus Iron Man. I'm playing Destiny. I did Batman. I'm like, I need to put a video out the other part of the week. I was like, I've got Brightest Day started. Like I've started crafting it, but it's 20-something issues, so it's taking some time. I'm like, what can I do in a hurry? Oh, Hulk versus Iron Man was 4 issues, and I meant to do it. So let me just knock that out. And I sat there and I read the whole story, and then I looked at it and I went, how the hell am I going to tell this? It's in 3 different timelines. Like,
Yeah, it was a little nuts. Like I had to go back and reread it a couple times, and I'm like, all right, like, is it right now that he's with the extremists? Because
yeah, exactly.
Like I thought I've seen that before.
Because it starts with them already fighting.
Yeah.
Then it
just
jumps
takes
back
off.
to the 60s.
Yeah.
Then like in the middle of the 60s, there's panels where Bruce Banner is in the modern day, but before the fight, figuring it all out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was a little hectic. I was like, oh my God. And so finally I was able to sit down and explain it, and I was like, all right, this is pretty much how it happens, guys. But I think that's the lesson that I learned with the tie-ins when I was doing Civil War is the tie-ins are tie-ins because they explain like an element that contributes to the story. And that's what I've done, like with the tie-ins with Spider-Man and Hulk versus Iron Man. And I'm debating on even if I want to do Thor, but I'm just sticking to
I'm
the
doing
aspect
Thor.
of the tie-ins.
Thor's better. Do Thor. No, do Spider-Man. Do
Okay,
Thor.
I'll do Thor.
I'm
I
not doing
already did
Spider-Man. If you
Spider-Man.
guys want to see
When you
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
you
just
go see them.
watch my video on Comic Story.
On TV Little House.
That's all-
Oh,
it's on
yeah, it
Comic-
is on Comic Story, and that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's not even on us.
Yeah, it's not an audio.
Why do you sound disappointed about that? I'm sorry. You want the video back? Like, you want me to delete it?
Don't keep that. You have that back.
But yeah, but yeah, that's what I learned. So Original Sin, like the tie-ins only cover, or the only portion I'm talking about of the tie-ins are the parts that like are part of Original Sin. So, but
The only tie-ins that were really good were Hulk versus Iron Man and Thor versus Loki. Or Thor.
that's what I thought, man. Like
Fantastic
Silk,
Four was crap. The Avengers was confusing as all hell, and it's not even really an Original Sin storyline. It's more of the Illuminati and the New Avengers plotline than anything.
yeah, and somebody wanted me to do X-Men, and I was like, no, Marvel's just doing what they can to make X-Men relevant. That's
Yeah.
no, that's not that's not happening. But yeah, so what does Dave have going
Yeah,
on?
Dave, I'm
Let's
sorry.
hear it.
Well-
What comic book are you reviewing, Dave?
Well, I was kind of taking a break from Marvel videos for a while, and honestly, like, it doesn't take me very long to do the unpacking videos because literally what I do is I will open the box on camera while I'm explaining it, and I will plug my SD card in. I will put an intro and an outro on it, and fast forward through the part where I'm opening the box and post it. Like, that's all the editing I do. So, you'll get one of those whenever I get a package, like, of comics. But, I'm hoping to do 2 episodes of Civil War since I've been taking a break from that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to have very much Marvel in my packages the next couple months because I'm getting indie books and I'm getting DC books. For the next couple months because Marvel's making my head hurt with all the stuff. I just need to kind of settle down and let it soak into my brain for a little while before I read anymore.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Like, that's the lesson I learned with Civil War. Like, here's all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna
much
read some
stuff.
indie stuff for a while, and
Yeah.
stuff that's easy to read. Like, I just got done with The Walking Dead Compendium 1, and I just got done with Spawn Volume 1 and Hellboy Volume 1, and some a little bit more mellow, shorter, like, indie stuff.
Yeah.
Is gonna be good for me for a while.
That makes sense.
Totes my goats.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, since Sal's throwing out weird lines and stuff like that,
It's McGee.
yeah, I guess we're gonna
and
bring
for the
this-
record, apparently the world is ending for Rob because the lights are gone. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought like earlier it looked like Jesus
Yeah,
was standing
Rob
behind
just,
me.
like-
Yeah.
Like Jesus was blessing the podcast.
was
gonna
that
be
like
a
cloak and
creature
dagger
that-
stuff?
I don't know what it was, man. Like it was just the light behind me. I wasn't trying to be like shadowy and mysterious. Like
You
I thought
have
maybe,
auto
like one of those
shadowy
anonymous
on your
guys they
camera.
interview. Like they like I was at the crime scene once and I don't know what happened.
We're gonna
and
see
I
like a
got
demon
shot."
hand come out of the darkness behind Rob in the hallway and like take
Oh
him
yeah, that
and
hallway's
drag him
creepy as
back
crap right now, Rob.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it like oh god, I watched Oculus the other day.
Okay.
That movie scared the hell out of me.
Rob, are you a
It
big
looked
baby?
creepy.
Do what?
Are you a big baby?
Oh, when it comes to scary movies, you better believe it, man. I am a sissy. Oh, dude, I get.
If you then don't watch my Outlast playthrough because I jumped out of my chair doing that
Oh,
recording.
yeah.
Outlast? I've heard Outlast is pretty scary.
Yeah. It's just a lot of jump scenes. People just jump like, whoa!
Rob
Wow.
should make a side channel where he records himself playing scary video games.
No, that's not gonna
I'm all
happen.
for that. No, you should totally do that.
No.
All right, before we go, though, I want to say one thing. All of Rob's viewers, you need to vote. Rob's next big video after Infinity Gauntlet needs to either be Madcap for Deadpool, just go ahead and say it, or Superman, like Sal said. He has to be one of those two.
I am not doing Madcap, and I'm not doing Superman.
It was
you
your
do- you do
idea,
Superman,
Rob.
you gotta do all
Eventually,
Super-
I will get you to do those.
Superman's history is just too massive.
So your excuse for not doing Superman is just too much?
Yeah.
Marvel
pretty much.
explained can't explain something?
Oh, I can explain something. It's just gonna take too long. Besides, I'm not gonna do a video about a guy that sings to people.
Rob,
like,
Rob,
that one
Rob
time,
has
and
to
it
make
was
a
towards the end.
2-hour-long video.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Rob, you're a very really lazy Andre the Giant.
I'm a lazy Andre the Giant. Like I don't do nothing. Like I just sit around and choke slam people and
Storm in the castle.
All right, I think that's a good way. Let's leave it on that note. Rob,
let's leave it on that
all of
note.
us. Agreed.
All right, guys. We will catch you guys later, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys at Comic-Con. So,
Yeah.
Yep, and Comic Story is the best.
the comic story is the best. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
See you.